main picture.
Seven anyway.
All right, why don't we just try the sound? So we already have sound.
There's no error on the computer here.
Okay, I can see it.
Okay.
All right. You ready? I call to order the meeting of the Mayor and Council of the Borough of River Edge, May 28th, 2026. Regular meeting, Borough Hall, 705 Keeping Road, and Zoom. I ask for a moment of silent reflection for our country, for our nation, as it continues with its economic and challenges. Councilwoman Mallory, would you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Statement of compliance with the Open Public Meeting Act. This meeting complies with the Open Public Meeting Act by notification on January 9th, 2026, and January 16th, 2026, of location, date, time, and access information to the town news and the record, and by posting of the same on the municipal bulletin board or our website, following notice of the same with the municipal clerk. Roll call, please.
Sure. Council President Kinsella?
Here.
Councilwoman Montesano Cohen?
Here.
Councilwoman Malalari?
Here.
Councilman Glass?
Here.
Councilwoman Dhariwal is absent with prior notice. Councilman Pfeffer?
Here.
Mayor Papaleo?
Here. Okay, we do have proclamations and awards, but we also have a swearing in of a volunteer firefighter. The firefighter is here, right? Good. Okay, so without objection, I'd like to move to the front of the agenda item, Resolution 26-158, approve the appointment of a volunteer firefighter. Is there objection?
None. None.
Hearing none, could I have a motion and second to move Resolution 26-158?
So moved. Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right. Christian and the chief and the firefighters, if you could all come forward, this would be move you up.
Start the show.
Testing, 1, 2, 3, very good, okay. Well, first of all, Chief, if you could speak a little bit about the volunteer firefighter program and how much time and energy is required and commitment from the candidate as well as from the family.
Okay, so Christian here came to us last year. It took been a process to get him going. The whole process, becoming a firefighter, after filling out the application, is going through some physical work, showing interest, and after we vetted him, made sure he was, of course, he was fit because he's here, and he's now going to be a probationary firefighter. He's going to have to, unfortunately, put in over 200 hours at not to mention in-house training, which we do 2 to 3 times a month. Plus, we have every Sunday we're down at the firehouse doing rig checks, getting familiar with the equipment, making sure that all the equipment is working and in good shape, and on top of that, coming to calls.
Yeah.
And as of now, we have over 112, so we're doing well for the year.
It's amazing, it really, really is. And we have some firefighters who have made this commitment behind, standing in honor. And Christian, this is a great moment for River Edge, and we thank you for your time and energy. Chief, if you can hold the mic so that it can be heard, and if we could move you over, and if you can stand over here. No, that's me. Raise your right hand. There we go. Please repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Christian Quayla,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the government
and to the government
established in the United States
established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of
I state your name.
I, Christian Quayla,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
as a member of
as a member of
the River Edge Volunteer Fire Department
the River Edge Volunteer Fire Department
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me
So help me God.
God. Congratulations. Excellent. Chris, do you want to say a few words? You can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. You know, put you on the spot.
Oh, no, I appreciate it. It's been a long, journey for me. I did come all the way from Clinton, New Jersey. It's also a time there,
Oh, wow.
probationary. So it's been a long coming journey for me because something that should have happened a little bit sooner, but my little one was a little sick for quite some time, so I had to take some time off. But I'm very happy to be part of this family with this family.
Excellent. Well, one more round of applause. Does anyone want to take some pictures? Jen, if you wish.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, no, guys, stay in the picture.
Thank you, everybody.
And now we have a presentation, proclamation award for Ideal Service Center. And if all those who are here from Ideal could come forward, that would be great. So I'm going to be reading a proclamation in a few minutes, but if you might just talk to the public about your commitment to River Edge and your family's business. Go ahead. I'm going to ask one of your guys to hold the mic for you, unless you feel comfortable holding and speaking at the same time.
All right, guys, well, first, I just want to let everybody know I'm truly honored to be here tonight. 81 years of being in business is a long time to survive and grow. I'm a little nervous.
Don't worry, take your
I'm
time.
going to do a lot of public speaking. About cars. This success has happened because the mayor and council, police, fire, DPW, ambulance, and residents of River Edge have all come together and worked so hard to make this town so great. For me personally, this month marks 40 years that I've owned Ideal Service. It's my absolute pleasure to serve this community. I get really emotional. River Edge has become a huge part of my life. But this celebration and proclamation belongs to many people. It started in 1945 when a family friend, John Vivaci, opened the shop It was a friendly to the fire station. You got your car service. You could grab a few tomatoes from his garden or a chestnut from his chestnut tree. In the 60s, my dad, Aldo, started working for him. We continued the traditional ethics and morals of the shop. My dad was deeply committed to this town and worked very hard to build the business.
You're doing good.
I'm shaking like a leaf.
Doesn't show, looks like you're proud.
All day long, but when I'm in front of one,
Well, it's coming off very well.
we recognize the many employees over the years who've worked so hard. Today, our amazing staff works every single day to get the job done. That includes my brother-in-law Tom, our manager Jason, and our talented technicians Johnny and Dylan. Together, we all hope to continue the legacy of Ideal Service for many more years. But most importantly, thank you to all the loyal residents and families that have been trusting us to service their vehicles for so many decades. Thank you all.
Things like to, when we can, honor longevity that businesses have made to River Edge, and we're very, very grateful. And so, proclamation. Whereas Ideal Service Center has been a cornerstone of the River Edge community by providing exceptional automotive service and creating local jobs. And whereas Vincent Guerra, Ideal Service owner, is celebrating 40 years of dedicated service and commitment to the local economy. And whereas John, how do we say John's last name?
Biavash.
That's it. The Warner family first opened the doors of Ideal Service, originally known as Sinclair Station, 81 years ago in 1945. And whereas Vincent's father Aldo began working for John in 1962, and in 1972, Aldo officially incorporated and took ownership of the company, which was originally named Ideal Shell. And whereas in May 1986, Vincent took ownership of Ideal Service, and over the decades, he has always employed 4 to 6 hardworking working mechanics. And whereas generations of families have brought all different makes and models of vehicles to Ideal Service Center, and Vincent has dedicated employees have always ensured that their customers' vehicles were properly serviced. And whereas Vincent always admired his father's passion and love of the community, has worked hard to emulate these same qualities by supporting the River Edge Police Department, the River Edge Fire Department, the River Edge Ambulance Service, as well as by sponsoring several sports teams each year, and community events such as the River Edge Run and the River Edge Car Show. And whereas the success and longevity of the local business, such as Ideal Service Center, are vital to the prosperity, character, and vibrancy of the borough. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Thomas Papaleo, Mayor of the Borough of River Edge, on behalf of the Borough Council, wish to congratulate you, Vincent, and Ideal Service Center for their many years of distinguished service in the community. Would you like to take some pictures?
Yes.
This is my son Paul.
Good morning.
Tommy, move it. Tommy.
Can we get it between you guys?
Okay. One more. Thank
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for everything you guys do for River Edge.
Vinny's worked on every car I've owned for the last 25 years. Thank you, it's been a great experience, and we're so lucky to have you guys in our town. It's amazing what you do. You're always fair, you always get it done, you always point me in the right direction. Really appreciate it.
We do.
I'm gonna go some public speaking lessons soon. 40 years.
Why not the,
Vinny's wife made cupcakes.
Oh, nice. Okay, we now have presentations. Our first will be a survey on proposed traffic study ordinance. Now, Chief, that would be you and Sergeant Diamond, and I will have to recuse myself for a portion of it. Do you want me to recuse myself to the beginning or the latter?
Before we even start, did you want to change the order at all to help you with the scheduling, Chief, Mayor?
Would you be okay if we went to the Environmental Commission's presentation? Would that be okay?
Yeah, we're a little long, so we didn't want to hold up everyone in the audience, what they're here for, or?
I think what they're here for is public comments. You're going to be a little bit long, so you're suggesting we do public comments first?
We're trying to.
Sure, absolutely. That sounds very accommodating. We really appreciate it. Oh, Pam, is that okay with you? Pam, can you unmute and tell us if you don't mind? It might be as much as 20 minutes of public comments.
Okay.
Pam, are you there? Oh, Patty, rather.
Sorry, I didn't hear that. Yeah, what was the question?
Patty, would it be okay if we put public comments first, which would run about maybe 20, 30 minutes on the far side? Would that be all right with you?
Sure. So I would go on in about 20, 30 minutes?
Yeah, that's okay. And if Chief,
that's fine.
Then we just do the commission presentation, which shouldn't take long, and then we'll get to you. All right. Could I, without objection, we're going to move presentations and discussion of the World Club Retail after public comments. Could I have, without objection, we'll move public comments to this point in the meeting. Is there any objection?
No.
All right, then. Could I have a motion second to open to the public for any comments?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, everyone, you get 3 minutes. Our attorney, Mr. Shadanian, will keep track of the time. Please come forward, state your name and address, unless, of course, you are of a police or justice family, and then, of course, the law does not require you to do so. You just need to touch the button, and you're good.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Omar Hassan, and I live in 727 7th Avenue, River Edge. I'm just here on a follow-up discussion and just wanted to bring up the concern that we discussed earlier about a crescent display in remembrance of Ramadan holidays. And I just wanted to bring that up as members of River Edge community. We want our voices to be heard, and we want to be a participating community member. So like any other celebrations, we like to be a part of River Edge Borough celebration, celebrating our heritage and our cultural practices. So with that, I have a couple of our community members who would like to speak up, because I spoke in the last meeting, so I don't want to take others' time. So I wanted to have some of our community members to speak. We have a few River Edge residents here who wanted to express their views about it.
Okay. Who else would like to come forward? You get 3 minutes. You need to state your name and your address, and then okay.
Hi, I live at 304 Lexington Drive.
You're a child, so we're not going to require that. I'm going to make executive decision and waive that because you're a minor. But the thing of it is that you might want to pull the mic a little bit closer. There you go. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Sophia Khan, and I'm a 5th grader at Cherry Hill Elementary School. My family moved to River Edge when I was 3 years old. I love going to school here, visiting the library, and playing rec sports with my friends. For the past 3 years, River Edge Library has celebrated the beginning of Ramadan, and it's something I look forward to. I get to go with my friends and also meet new friends. Just like Christmas and Hanukkah celebrations, a crescent lighting would give kids like me a chance to celebrate the start of a very special month that focuses on kindness and helping others. Celebrating holidays and traditions in our town can make kids like me feel included. Like when Ramadan or Eid is mentioned at school, it makes me feel seen. I know many kids in River Edge feel the same way. That's why I think having a crescent lighting in River Edge would mean so much to our community. Thank you for your time.
Any other member of the community? Oh, so we'll do that, okay?
Hi, everyone. My name is Tasneem Omar, and I am a resident of River Edge. I live in 727 River Edge, 7th Ave. Of course, I don't know how I'm going to follow that. That was so cute. But I've lived in River Edge for about 10 years, and I went to school at Riverdale, everything. And I think that, of course, the crescent lightings and similar events that we hold for any religious group is really important because it helps us feel included. But at the same time, I think it makes everyone, regardless of their background, stronger global citizens and generally more accepting of each other. And I think even going to events like we had a cultural night, stuff like that, makes us all stronger, not just because we feel included, but we get to see like just how many different kinds of people are in River Edge and how we can be close to each other and support each other. So I think it's really important to have that and make that accessible.
Okay, wonderful. Anyone else? Sure. Are you a minor?
No, I'm turning 19.
Sorry, if you're a minor, you don't need to say your name and address. We're gonna make that just so that we always protect
My
you.
name is Zaina Madahan. I live at 152 Hayes Avenue in Paramus. Although I'm not from River Edge, I actually have been trying to communicate with River Edge Volunteer Ambulance Corps to possibly join. I just also wanted to add my opinion on the crescent moon lighting. So in Paramus, we've been doing it for I think about 7-8 years now, and I was really young when it started, maybe 7 or 8 years old. And every year when Ramadan happens and the crescent light, we're all gathering together to celebrate the crescent lighting in our borough hall. It just is a very big tradition that my family and our community has honored, and we've seen people come in from other towns to come see this, and other towns started participating in it. And I tried to help work along with other towns to try and get it across Bergen County and New Jersey, and it's even been happening in New York City. Coming to River Edge, if possibly joining the ambulance corps here, then, or just any community in general, seeing the crescent lighting would be such an honor. Coming to America, most of our families are immigrants. Having this diverse community will really show a better perspective from everyone. When I grew up, I was celebrating Christmas with my friends, Hanukkah with my friends, Easter with my friends. And I feel like having this diverse community where everyone shows their perspectives and shows their cultures is very important. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Yes, please come forward.
Hi, my name is Nabila Itani. I live at 321 Harris Place in New Milford. My family and I lived in Emerson for 25 years. Then we moved 2 years ago to New Milford. And I want to share my experience with you about the crescent moon lighting that happened in Emerson and New Milford. It's a beautiful experience. I've seen it, I've lived it. All I can say is just, it's amazing seeing the community getting together and sharing the joy of welcoming the month of Ramadan. And it's not only about the Muslims, it is about a strong community that recognizes all residents and a community that welcomes and values every single member. Please allow me to share some of the benefits of this meaningful recognition and positive impact it had in many other towns that approved similar celebrations. First, just of course, recognizing Muslim members of the community who observe the month of Ramadan, and most importantly, spreading knowledge and awareness to understand and acknowledge the tradition and spiritual values of the month of Ramadan. It creates a sense of unity among the whole community and an opportunity for neighbors to learn about one another, leading to a stronger community. Personally, when I drive by the crescent moon, it tells me as a Muslim resident that my town recognized me, just like any other resident celebrating Christmas, tree lighting, and menorah lighting. Kids walking to school or driving to school, they're gonna know it's Ramadan. My kids are finished college, but as a mom of younger kids, I would go to school to bring it up to the teacher. Oh, it's Ramadan, they'll be fasting. Bring it up to the coaches. It's Ramadan. Keep into consideration that they cannot drink during practice or games. So this fixture, it's a big symbol for everybody. I get text messages from my neighbors that like Happy Ramadan, Ramadan Mubarak, seeing just this fixture on the street. And the benefits are endless. It's about spreading knowledge and acknowledge and sharing the joy. That's all what about it. Please consider what inspired many other towns to approve and support the moonlighting. You are the decision makers, and your community has been requesting MTA at Bergen County Special Services, and at some point I attended the Board of Education meeting and requested a day off for the holiday at the end of Ramadan. They welcomed the idea, and we've been having it off since 2 years and for years to come. All what I'm saying is all it takes is someone to make a request. We really appreciate if you listen to the community, and this is a great chance for you to make a positive difference for a strong, welcoming community based on inclusivity,
Thank you.
respect,
That was
and
your 3
understanding.
minutes. We appreciate it.
Thank
Is
you
there
so
another
much.
speaker? Online, is there someone? Oh, hold on, come forward.
We're on a different topic, is that okay?
Would you mind waiting?
No,
We'll
not at
finish
all.
with one topic, move to another.
We're good.
Manager? Go ahead, you go.
Good evening to everyone. I'm Dr. Said. Been living in this town from 2006.
We just need for you to say your address.
Obas Sayed is my name. I'm living here since 2006. It's almost like 20 years in the town, River Edge. Okay. Anything else you want to know?
Address. Address.
657 Bogart Road, River Edge.
Very good. You have
Okay.
your 3 minutes.
And I have seen many new faces, but at the same time, I had a chance to come when you were very young at that time, I know. And also from the time from the Margaret Watkins, okay? So I know all those people, but anyhow, I've seen so many changes happen in the town. And the canvas we are the part of the canvas of New Jersey, Bergen County, where I came to this country back in 1992. Things have changed, okay? And we want to see the reflection, and we are seeing so many reflections. And I was here even last time, when we presented and we requested it, and came to know that some of your policies, River Edge policies, are the issues here, because, menorah could be there, this is religious, that's not religious. But as far as I understand, even from the First Amendment point of view, okay, this is we should be, as a part of the community, all the religious groups has to be represented. Even the New Jersey NJLA is allowing or permitting, well, any policies which are there, if it's in conflict, that has to be looked inward again. So that's my request is, so please look at from that point of view too, that, all of the towns are accepting, and our town has not let us represent us, but just by a symbol, whereas looks like a discriminating that other religious groups can represent themselves in certain ways or fashion, whether it's a symbol, but we are not allowed. So it's a little disappointing here. And we want to be represented as an equal community. We might be minority here, but I look at all those kids, they have shown their sentiments, their feelings, and all those things, how much they love it. This is our generation going forward. So we are looking and seeing that kind of a decision besides the We don't want to go into too much of a legal argument at this point, but we are also want to show you that there are some rights which we have it, okay? But at the same time, we're requesting honorable council members to consider, be passionate and sympathetic, empathetic, and then welcome a community as it's happening in the Bergen County, Now that the people are there in the mosque and your mayors are coming from the different towns representing, even your governor is there, okay? So that's my 2 cents. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Why don't we keep it to one topic, then we'll move to another? So, anyone else?
Hello. My name is Mino Akhtar, and I live in 86 Muncie Road, Emerson, New Jersey. I've lived there for 46 years. I'm a grandmother now with 8 kids, and grandkids, and 4 kids. But my grandson, my youngest grandson is 2, and this evening we FaceTimed him. He is in Princeton, and he said, when everybody works together, everybody's happy, a 2-year-old. So with that theme, I'd just like to share with you that I worked with the mayor of Emerson 2 years ago to start Crescent Lighting. And we were welcomed, and they were so gracious in helping us organize it. And so we've had it for 2 years already. And it made such a different impact on our community. But also my neighbors, they said, oh, we're going to come to your Crescent Lighting, and they asked questions, and they learned more about our culture and our customs. And so we share more and more about each other's practices and appreciate each other, which I think builds peace and harmony, which is all we want in our world today. It's such a globally fragmented world, and there are myths and misrepresentations which we at the local level can at least not, fall into. So we ask that you consider that all these 40, 50 Bergen County towns, Oradell, Emerson, New Milford, they've all been doing it. So I just wanted to add my 2 cents about our great experience in Emerson. And just for the record, I wanted to share the myths that I'm talking about. Professor Asma Uddin from Michigan State University is a religious liberty lawyer, and she's written a book, When Islam is Not a Religion, about how Islam has been kind of created as a political tool rather than a religion. And there's a podcast, number 35, Is Islam an American Religion?, which is an interview of Professor Asma Uddin with Daisy Khan, which explains why some of these laws are not applied equally. So there's a lot of reflection, there's a lot of concern at the macro level, but I think at the local level we can work together and be happy together. Thank you.
Sure.
My name is Khalid Bashjawich. The address is 325 Vancouver Place, Wyckoff, New Jersey. Good evening, Mayor Papleo and council members. I'm an attorney and I volunteer with the Eid Committee. And I represent the Eid Committee and residents like Dr. Hassan when needed. This is one of those times. And I know that the majority of the council members here have a background in law. So I just want to say that from my point of view, you may not necessarily be a litigator or a First Amendment constitutional attorney, but the information that I have is available to all of us as well as your council. So of course, from my point of view as an attorney, this is not about acceptance, this is about rights. And as you know, regardless of one's faith, every person in River Edge has the right to equal treatment. When you are the state, and when the state opens public property for religious or cultural celebrations, it cannot turn away people based on personal views of that religion. This is not about being nice, although the tone of today's meeting has been very festive and very open. But of course, from my point of view, it's a little different, but still, this is about constitutional principles that protect us all. In my view, that's what makes us American, and that's what binds someone from a completely different background to you. That's the value that I believe is worth having, and that is the value that I think that you're able to keep alive today. These constitutional principles exist to make sure that no government tells one group of residents that their traditions belong in public while telling another group to keep theirs behind closed doors. What we are asking is to approve a crescent lighting ceremony for River Edge to provide in a similar fashion that you've done previously. The residents can deal with the details and make it a wonderful event. And River Edge will continue to be a town where people of all faiths feel belonged. We know it's very clear based on today's meeting that you deeply care about this community, and I know that the residents, the Muslim community of River Edge do too. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, go to the online and we'll switch topics unless there's others who would like to talk on this topic.
Hello, Mayor and Council.
Just 1 second, we're going to go online and then we'll come to you.
Hi there. We just wanted to also speak on behalf of the Crescent Lighting.
Just name and address first, please.
Sure. My name is Sonia Khan, and I'm at 6206 Lozier Terrace.
Okay. You have 3 minutes.
Great. Thank you so much. Good evening, council members. My name's Sonia Khan, and I'm a proud resident of River Edge. Tonight, I wanted to ask you for your support for something very simple, beautiful, and meaningful: a crescent moon display in our town to celebrate Ramadan. Every December, our streets are glowing with lights that bring joy to our community. Every spring, we celebrate Easter together. River Edge has always been a place that honors all of its residents. But for our Muslim neighbors, there's a silence where there could be some light. Ramadan is one of the most significant observances in the world, marked by nearly 2 billion people globally. And right here in River Edge, it's actually a part of the lives of our friends, colleagues, and fellow community members. And I really believe that a town is only as strong as its commitment to all of its residents. Not most of them, not some of them, but really all of them. So when a community fails to represent everyone who lives within it, it sends an unintended but painful message that some people matter more than others. And I think River Edge is better than that, and tonight we have the chance to prove it. So I urge you all to vote yes. Thank you so much.
Welcome. Oh, there's one more. Okay.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, this is Councilwoman Ridwana Isla. Thank you so much for allowing us to speak today. I'm actually in Bridgewater, New Jersey. It's in Somerset County, Central Jersey. I'm also a board member of the Eid Committee that we just heard from right now, the legal counsel. I actually just got elected last November. I took oath in January as the first Muslim ever elected in Bridgewater, New Jersey. And soon after that, we actually finally have our first crescent light in our township. And even if people didn't know what it was, they definitely asked, and everyone was very happy. It did take 3 years for the residents to get that. We also had a really nice Ramadan Eid celebration on the township property as well. So, you know, change is happening. We're very nonpartisan, bipartisan. I was the first Democrat elected after 40 years in this town. So we are working very closely with Republicans to get all of these done. We work together. It's about the residents, what makes everyone happy, what truly lights up their daily lives. And I just wanted to share that experience that I've had in Bridgewater, that, you know, change is possible. And I hope, you know, I know you have a very difficult job. I'm learning since I'm new, but I hope you all, you know, have those thoughts as you decide on your vote tonight. And thank you again for this opportunity to speak. And sorry I couldn't drive up there today.
We'll go back and forth. Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Dr. Nick Madahan. I live in Paramus. I was invited by a River Edge resident to come here and speak before you.
Address?
152 Hayes Avenue, Paramus.
Go ahead.
So about 15 years ago, I started this initiative in Paramus. I'm a former member of the Paramus Planning Board. I'm also a former retired volunteer firefighter. Why do I bring this up? Because on Christmas and menorah, on the detail when we go and throw the lollipop on the engine, okay, I always take my kids and they enjoy that. And my daughter, who spoke a little earlier, why can't we have our own, right? Why don't we have our own ceremony? We go to the menorah, we go to the Christmas tree lighting, we go to the Wonderland. So I'm on the planning board, I went to the mayor council in a setting like this, and it was approved on the spot. Look, why not? We should do it. The numbers I want to share with you, this started 15 years ago with Paramus. In Bergen County right now, we have 49 towns. So let's make River Edge the 50th town to honor this celebration and add it to its tapestry of tradition. There are 400,000 Muslims live in New Jersey. There are 40,000 Muslims live in Bergen County. There are 20,000 Muslims who are registered voters. There are 9 houses of worship in Bergen County, Islamic, and there are 5 Islamic schools in Bergen County. So I'm asking this administration to respectfully approve this tradition. It's a ceremony that everybody enjoys, and again, add it to the rich tapestry of River Edge. Thank you so much.
Sure. Someone online? Say your name and address, please, and you'll have 3 minutes.
Hello, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Elif Hajaluga. I am an Oakland resident at 65 Cardinal Drive in Oakland, New Jersey. I have also been invited by some River Edge residents, and I'm very happy to be able to be heard. I wanted to share that I was involved in, I led the effort to bring the Ramadan Crescent moonlighting to Oakland. We had our first moonlighting ever this year. It was an amazing turnout. We had just as many non-Muslim residents as we had Muslim residents attend. It was an amazing experience. When Oakland approved the Crescent Moon display, it wasn't just about putting up a decoration. It was about recognizing a significant part of the community and sending a message that we Muslim residents were also seen, we're also valued, we're also included in the life of this town, right? We participate just like everyone else does. I understand, I get it that you guys have things to consider, factors when making decisions, but I would encourage you to listen carefully to the residents who are asking for this recognition. For many families, especially children, seeing their traditions acknowledged alongside those of other community members creates a sense of belonging and connection. And I know that for my own kids. I have twin boys who attend the Oakland public school system. And I know what that meant to them. And I know what it meant when their non-Muslim friends were standing out there watching them and listening to their speech at our moonlighting and how they felt so included. And seeing that on their face was priceless. So I know when your residents are out there asking to feel the same recognition as we did, and they're getting pushback, I know what that feels like. Right? And I'm so grateful that Oakland opened its mind. They didn't give us any pushback, but I know what that must feel like to not be recognized, because before Oakland allowed it, that was us as well. But since then, you know, it's been a whole different mindset here. It was a beautiful turnout. We had an amazing time. And there's just really no reason to say no. Just let everyone be, it's a happy thing. It's a beautiful thing. Let people enjoy it. Let's be united. Thank you.
Did someone speak? Okay, I have sound. You can continue, I'm sorry, and your time will be corrected. Go ahead.
So when we first were looking for a town to move, we did a walk around and we saw how diverse the community is, and we thought this was the perfect place to start planning a family. So I was part of the Junior Women's Club, which is not a religious affiliation, and I volunteered for their Easter egg hunt so that other moms who celebrate Easter can enjoy their time with their kids. I'm asking for the same respect here. I am a nurse and I work Christmas and Easter so that my fellow colleagues can get that day off. A lot of people don't know about Islam. I didn't even know how important the crescent moon is. It is not a religious symbol. It is a holiday. It is just to bring joy, just like the Christmas lights that we see on the trees. So thank you for your time.
Online? Okay, please state your name and address. Is there a mic open?
This is me.
Yes, we can hear you. Please state your name and address.
Because I struggle how I raise my hand. I'm Aziza Marinkovic. Good evening. And speaking, my address is 222 Myrtle Avenue, Fort Lee. I'm speaking today as a resident of Fort Lee, where our community has had a positive experience with local authorities recognizing Ramadan by lighting the crescent moon. We did it 2 years. We started 2 years ago. Community in New Jersey are changing and becoming more diverse, and we must accept this as the new reality. It is very important that all communities and all religions are treated equally. 40 districts in New Jersey have organized crescent lighting for many years. Your district is the only district that does not allow it. It is very, I don't know what to say. This is not only disappointing, but also seems strange, especially when other religion symbols are allowed. The First Amendment protects freedom of religion and say that the government should not favor one religion over other. You allow nativity scenes and the menorah, but not the crescent. The crescent. Equal treatment means using the same rules for everyone. This is not only a religious issue, it is a question of fairness, equality, and respect for all families. When one religion is visible in public space and another is not, people can feel excluded and unwelcome. Unequal treatment can lead to open discrimination and violation of constitutional rights. Just like citizens, local authorities must also obey the law. I hope the district will reconsider this decision and choose fairness and equal treatment for all members of the community. Thank you very much.
Anyone else in the chambers on this topic? Anyone else remotely on this topic? There's one more?
Yes.
Please state your name and address.
Shanaz, I am from. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Please continue.
Great. Okay, this is Shanaz. I'm part of the Eid Committee in Paramus, New Jersey. I spoke in the March meeting. Just wanted to acknowledge the many residents from River Edge and neighboring towns have already spoken in support of crescent lighting and inclusive recognition of Muslim families in our community. The council tonight has an opportunity to listen to those voices and reflect on the values of fairness, inclusion, and equal treatment. The public holiday displays do send a message about who belongs. If River Edge recognizes Christmas and menorah displays, then Muslim residents should be welcomed with the same respect and visibility. So this is not about politics or special treatment. It's about ensuring that all residents feel seen, respected, and included in the civic life of our borough. So we respectfully ask the council once again to honor the wishes of residents and approve the crescent lighting, as Bergen County has already 50 towns and all your neighboring towns already doing the crescent lighting. So we would like River Edge to be part of this incredible, beautiful celebration. So thank you.
You're welcome. Is there anyone else who would like to speak on this topic?
Actually, two little girls.
Come on, buddy, sister.
Come on, let's go.
If she's not comfortable, that's okay. She doesn't have to.
Do you want to? Okay.
Yeah.
I can speak for her.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
Name and address.
Sure. My name is Rasha Alarga. I live in 830 Muse, River Edge. I've been living in town for over 10 years, and it really breaks my heart when I see my friends in other towns like getting recognized, getting their Christian lighting celebration going on. I also work as a pharmacist at Walgreens, and we also get recognized over there. Like we received text messaging, celebration, like Ramadan Mubarak, enjoy your holiday. And I really feel like I wish I can receive the same like appreciation, like kind of recognition from our town. That's all.
Okay. Anyone else on this topic? Are we good? Anyone who has not already spoken? Okay, anyone on another topic? Anything that they would like to, please come forward.
Sorry, I was nervous. We were going to get cut off if we didn't get on.
No, that does not happen. But you only get 3 minutes each.
Got it. They said we could combine our, to the 6 total?
Yes,
Okay.
I do allow that.
Making her talk more.
Okay. But you will both need to introduce yourselves, your addresses at the beginning, and then you will get 6 minutes in total.
Great. My name is Melissa DeZimian, and I live at 188 Woodland Avenue.
My name is Regina Lauricella, and I live at 205 Wales Avenue. I do want to acknowledge and thank our Muslim and non-Muslim neighbors and friends for speaking up for crescent lighting. I have a lot to learn, but I do hope to participate with my family in this celebration here in River Edge.
We're speaking on behalf of community members concerned about recent immigration and customs enforcement activity in our town. Tonight, we are requesting the mayor and council to consider 3 different proposals under one public safety umbrella. We've provided the borough clerk, the mayor, the chief of police with draft resolutions, ordinances, and supporting reference materials. The 3 proposals include a standardized public safety notice protocol, prohibiting the use of borough property, personnel, resources for immigration and customs enforcement activity, and a commitment to community engagement. The first resolution focuses on the standardized public safety notice. The recent ICE arrest on May 1st at 8:40 a.m. in the Roosevelt School drop-off zone on Oak Avenue left parents and students feeling anxious, fueled rumors, and created widespread confusion. Without communication from the borough, the police department, or the school district, it left the community unsure of where to turn for accurate information. To address this gap, this resolution asks the mayor, council, and chief of police to create a consistent public safety notice protocol using our existing alert systems. The borough can issue clear, timely updates whenever the borough becomes aware of ICE activity as in compliance with the New Jersey Immigrant Trust Directive. It also encourages coordination with the school superintendent to ensure our schools are safe. The second proposal combines 2 complementary actions regarding the use of borough property, personnel, and resources. While we understand that federal agencies act independently, the borough has full authority on how its property, personnel, and resources are used. This proposal simply states that ICE operations activities cannot be conducted on borough-owned property with town personnel or use town resources unless required by law. We ask the mayor to consider issuing an administrative directive now so that immediate and interim measure to quickly protect municipal operations and clarify the personnel responsibilities. In parallel, we ask the council members to advance an ordinance that creates a binding municipal policy. This is not only in line with the recent statewide Executive Order Number 12, barring ICE agents from any operating in any state-owned or state-leased or state-controlled property without judicial warrants, but towns across New Jersey, North Bergen, Bloomfield, Teaneck, have all adopted similar restrictions. Furthermore, Essex County as a whole has banned ice from all county-owned property, while Newark expanded this policy to include personnel and resources. River Edge would be aligning with a growing statewide standard, and together these measures strengthen the community.
That's just 3, you get 3 more.
I'm now going to turn it over to Regina to present on community engagement.
The next priority and resolution centers on a commitment to community engagement. The recent ICE activity near Roosevelt School highlighted the need for both formal communication and grassroots coordination. River Edge is one of the most diverse communities in Bergen County. According to the U.S. Census, 27% of residents are foreign-born, 45% of residents are not white, and 37% speak languages other than English within their homes. This proposed resolution calls for a commitment to community engagement aligned with the Immigrant Trust Directive. We ask local leaders to foster open dialogue, share and distribute essential public safety information, and support neighborhood-led care networks. We request that the borough schedule a dedicated community engagement town hall within 30 days and designate the River Edge Public Library as an ongoing safe meeting and resource space. River Edge would again be aligning with a growing statewide standard. The Passaic County Office of County Council, Morristown and Morris Township, and Jersey City provide roadmaps for our town to coordinate and collaborate with organizations such as the New Jersey Consortium for Immigrant Children, the American Immigration Lawyers Association, and Make the Road New Jersey. In closing, we respectfully request that the mayor and council review and advance the proposed administrative directive as well as ordinance prohibiting the use of borough property, personnel, and resources for immigration and customs enforcement with a public response or directive within 30 days. 2, review the proposed standardized public safety notice protocol with a public response or directive within 30 days. And 3, set a date and location for the community engagement town hall within 30 days and confirm the public library as a safe meeting and resource space. We thank you for your time and we look forward to working on all this with you as partners.
All right. Anyone else wish to speak on any topic? Anyone in the remote? Who hasn't spoken yet? Okay. Please state your name and address for the record.
It's Christina Vergara, 725 Oak Ave.
Okay. River Edge, right?
Yes,
Right.
a River Edge resident for 5 years now.
Okay.
What occurred, unfortunately, I couldn't be there this evening because I was watching my 2 children. My husband actually had a golf outing, but I wanted to be there because what happened on this day happened right in front of my home. I had just dropped off my eldest daughter who's in kindergarten at Roosevelt. And I'm a little emotional talking about it because it was, quite frankly, one of the most intense and horrifying things I've seen. Not horrifying necessarily, but truly and deeply concerning how and where it happens. All I can say is that these people drove down my street very fast. Sirens were blaring, and we had just dropped off our eldest child. The kids just had gone inside. They pulled this man, 4 undercover vehicles, and 4 undercover, I guess you call ICE agents, but they said police on there, came running out of a vehicle wearing Yankee hats and throwing this man onto the car. I can't even express to you how worse it would have been had there been children outside or had they had just been going inside when this occurred. So I am asking the mayor and council to proceed with the resolution that was just presented to you by Melissa and Regina. I'm glad that we as a community can come together to work on this, but even if there weren't many people there on this subject matter tonight, there were a lot of people who spoke about it to me. When I picked up my eldest that day from school, a lot of people came up to me to ask, A, if I was okay, and in support of having some type of community notification and protocols as it pertains to ICE agents on our street. As you know, our town is right off of Route 4. A lot of people pass through our town, and we need to protect and respect not only the people of this town, but our children who go to the schools in this town. So with that, I'll leave it there, and I apologize I couldn't be there and that I wasn't as prepared as I wanted to be, but this is an important subject that we do need to take into consideration, and I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Cool. Anyone else on any topic? Sure, go on up.
Hey, just give me a round of applause. And I was so,
My name is Jella Meehan. I live 209 Wales Avenue. My neighbor's Regina, and in conjunction with Regina and Melissa, I just want to say that when that happened that day, I saw that the message from my neighbor, from Regina. I was at work. I work at a doctor's office, and I started to cry. I couldn't contain myself. I had to take a moment. I had to break because, like they said, this is heartbreaking, what is happening in this country, in the society, and in our town. And I have to be honest, for whatever reason that I thought we were shielded, we're not. And my hope is that you guys see this as well and how difficult it is to see anybody torn away from their family, to see parents, fathers, mothers, children being torn apart. And I'm going to ask politely, please, I would like to put out there that our police department does not engage with ICE, that they do not help ICE in any way, shape, or form, and to protect this community instead. Because what matters is humanity, empathy, and compassion. And that is what we are asking for here today. Okay? Because Regina and Melissa are incredible human beings to go out and put themselves out there and to let you know how heartbreaking it is for our community to see this. And it's not just us, there's many people. This is atrocious that it happened in front of Roosevelt, where my children went to school, where many children go to school. And you know, all of us in this society, what is happening today in this country is not okay. And not any one of us here, I'm sure, can sit here and say, as a human to anyone, it doesn't matter what race we are, and the racism that's going on, and the people that are being targeted by ICE, and the violence, the brutality. I can't sleep at night knowing this is happening, and I don't want this happening in our city. So please, I beg of you to please push forward with what they're asking, and please, our police department to not engage with them, please, and to not allow it on town property, the borough, the police department, the schools especially, the children. This is the future. And I can't sit here and watch this happening. It's hard enough to see what's happening at Delaney Hall and in Newark. This is not okay, and our conscience knows that. None of us, this is not normal, and this should not be accepted, and it should not be normalized by any means, and River Edge is above that. We're better than that. I know our morals and values are better than that. So please, I'm asking you to please push forward with what they're asking. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right. Name and address?
Allison Leckenby, 284 Wales Avenue, River Edge.
Go ahead.
It's really hard to follow that. As an immigrant, I think there's a theme tonight. You know, I think learning a lot about the crescent moon as well. We just want to feel safe in this community that we have intentionally, on purpose, chosen to live a good life, to be part of a community. I left my community not by choice a long time ago. And so with the family that I'm building with my two boys at Roosevelt, my husband, we have said, okay, what is our goal in life? And our goal in life is to really ground ourselves again in a community, and this community is supposed to make us feel safe. And after seeing the horrendous video that was described of this man being arrested in this town that I thought was, using her words, shielded, I felt like I've been living in this delusion. You know, what I see in social media is just so far away, but it's just been right here outside my door. That day, maybe you can think of it as an overreaction, but I walked my dog with my passport, with my US passport, which is quite ridiculous, I know, and I shouldn't have felt the need to do that, and I don't want to. So you can tell that Melissa and Regina have done a tremendous amount of work in coming here today, not just to talk about a very real problem, but to really bring real solutions, very educated solutions across the board to you, very holistic. And I thank them so much for doing so much work on that. So I guess I'm bringing this more emotional aspect to this storytelling. So thank you for your consideration to their resolutions, and thank you for your time.
All right, anyone else? Sure.
My name is Altimus Dorville. Our address is 880 Elm Avenue, River Edge. And I'm here in support of Melissa, also and Regina, and to give my perspective as another anxious parent, and what I experienced on that day, hearing the news of what had happened, along with other parents. I'm also an immigrant family that came to this country and to follow the same American dream, to work hard and contribute. And I teach my children the same ethics and morals and of acceptance and community. And this is what I thought we found in this country, as sort of a beacon, right, in the world. And it's obviously very anxious times for all of us, for immigrant families especially, and that this happened in our back door, right? And that this happened in the doorstep of my children's school was one also of great concern. My thought was worrying when they came home what they were going to ask had they seen this, and what questions they had, what fears, what anxiety, right? And so we ask that to the extent it's in the hands of you and our administrators here in River Edge, that you help protect us, this community, and really the sense of community that we have here, and allay some of our anxieties, and especially when it comes to communication. As Regina and Melissa said, I thought that was lacking. When it came to that event, we had to sort of reach out to the superintendent to understand what are the boundaries here, right? So we can also feel safe and protected. So we appreciate Melissa and Regina's work, and we hope that you also sort of look into their proposals in whatever way you can help, because there's a lot of anxious families in the community after that incident. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Could I have a motion and second to close to the public? All in favor, please say aye. Okay, so just a couple of things we can talk about is we're going to be having a discussion about religious displays as old business. And of course, the council can offer comments at this time, but it is going to be a display. But one of the things that kind of, is kind of lost is we're talking about a distinction here. We're talking about a distinction of the borough putting out things and the borough recognizing things. We don't put religious symbols on our property at this time. But we do recognize everything. And towards that end, just to make sure that you know that I'm not just saying this, I'm going to share my display. I'm going to share a Chrome tab, Facebook. Okay, sure. Do I have sharing authority? I think I do. It says I do. Just waiting for it to load. Okay, this is the Facebook page of the Mayor of River Edge. This is a proclamation that, which you can't see very well, but it's for Ramadan. And it's signed by me, and it's not the first year we've done it. We've done it many, many years. So it was, this is, let me maximize this. This is myself right there. You can see me right there, cursor, okay? You can see Commissioner Zor there. You can have, I think, Under Deputy Kim, I think it is present. You can see some of the people who are in this room right now celebrating the crescent moon and the star and Ramadan, and done it many years. There is the crescent moon and the star in our library. We had different speakers, imams. One of the imams that was present who did not speak is actually the wife, no, the husband. His wife is somebody I taught with for years in Teaneck Public Schools. This is the Under Sheriff Kim speaking. This all happened on February 12th. This is the commissioners. 4 of the commissioners were able to make it. As you can see, other River Edge residents and people present. And so we are not recognizing Ramadan. We are. What we're going to discuss later on today is whether we wish to change our policy about religious symbols on our front lawn. No, this is not a question and answer, okay? So we do not celebrate Easter. Easter eggs are not a religious symbol, okay? I have a Master's of Divinity, 4 years at the Immaculate Conception Seminary, and I have an all but dissertation Master's of Theology. So I can speak with some authority here that that is not. The most holy day for the Christians is Easter, and Easter eggs have nothing to do with it. The holiday tree is also not a Christian symbol. The 2 most important days in the Christian calendar are Easter and Pentecost. Christmas is the 3rd most important. The Supreme Court, our attorney has, and we have a what is it, a memo on it, stating, so this is the question, are we going to allow all religious symbols or no religious symbols? Right now, we allow no religious symbols. There's not a creche on, in front of Borough Hall. There are in other towns. Other towns have chosen to put any and all religious symbols out for unspecified amount of towns. Right now, River Edge's policy is to put no religious symbols. I can't speak to the menorah. I don't have a master's degree in that. But the Supreme Court says it's not a religious symbol. I'm neither here nor there. That issue you have to take up with the U.S. Supreme Court. So, so I just wanted to clear up that because I think some of our speakers, by the way, you were all excellent, well-spoken, and I appreciate you exercising your First Amendment right. I just wanted to make it clear that we do honor and recognize Ramadan and the crescent and star. We just don't do it on public property as a display. We do it in the library. They can also be done in the park. A permit is taken out, and that would be perfectly okay. And we don't celebrate other religious holidays. We don't celebrate Yom Kippur. We don't celebrate Easter. We don't celebrate Pentecost. We don't put symbols out for them. So, but we're going to have a discussion about that later today, and the council could change its current policy if it chooses to do so. Second, Chief, do you wish to?
Mayor.
Oh, well, hold on. Yes, we should.
Before you change
pieces.
subjects.
Yeah, no, you're right. I was going to go to the council and then I forgot.
Okay.
Is any member of council wish to say anything? And remember, this is not a back and forth. This is Everyone's had your time, and we've been respectful, and now the council members can say what they wish to.
May I?
Yeah.
Thank you, Mayor. We do have on the agenda a lengthier discussion, and I hope people will stick around for that discussion. But since the mayor has already made a comment, I can't resist, and I have to say something. But the only thing I'm going to say right now is that we are all individuals on the council. The mayor obviously is an individual. We're all entitled to our own opinions, our own positions. My position happens to differ from what the mayor just articulated. And I don't think that some of what you said is accurate. You're entitled to your opinions, but as they say, not entitled to facts, your own facts. So we can discuss that. We're going to debate that. It's going to be a healthy, hopefully constructive, civil discussion. But I don't want it to just be left on the table, what the mayor just said, because at least one of us disagrees with that presentation. So hopefully, I know there are small children here. You might have to get home. There's homework, there's bedtimes. But if you can stick around, please stick around, at least for the discussion. The only other thing I'll say is on the other subject, and I do think it's kind of ironic that on the same...
Well, hold on. What we're going to do is we're going to let the council comment on that, and then we're going to move on to the second subject.
Yeah, I'm talking about the public comments tonight. I'm responding to the public
We brought
comments.
the public comments into two pieces. We
Right.
did first the question of religious symbols,
Right.
and then we did a question of that. I was going to allow the chief, if he wanted to speak, offer comments before I had the council, unless you don't want to speak after the chief
I
speaks.
will yield to the chief anytime.
No, I think we're going to finish the comments on this first.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
but then there was another discussion about the ICE issue.
Yeah, we're gonna-
That's
And
what
I
we're
wanted to
holding.
say something about that.
Yeah, you'll have time. Of course.
Sorry?
You'll absolutely have time.
Yeah, that's all I'm
On
saying.
this issue, Mayor, I'm very data-driven, and I just want to thank you for bringing the data to us that you brought tonight. To me, it's very meaningful to understand what's going on in other municipalities in New Jersey. So thank you for that.
Okay. Anyone else on this topic?
Can I ask a question of council?
No, that we'll hold, is it on the
Well, he
Rama?
made an assertion of that you stated something that was not factual, and I'd like to know what that non-factual.
You gotta turn your mic on.
I'd like to know what the non-factual comment.
Sure.
The mayor.
Yeah, I was going to save that for the
I just want from
comments.
my knowledge, so that I can.
Yeah, I think that well, there were a few things, but I don't want to dwell on everything. The main point I think that was incorrect is that this idea of not allowing a crescent display on public property, then the idea that this is somehow supported by the Supreme Court of the United States as an absolute rule is not correct, is absolutely not correct. There are times when, I was just going to ask Mr. Shedanian to weigh in on this, but I know he'll do so at the appropriate time.
No, why don't you let him do it?
Weigh in on what?
Well, so just, to finish my answer
No, you just
to
turned-
Councilmember Kinsella, if the question is, if the argument is that the Supreme Court of the United States does not allow us to have a crescent display
No, I did not
alongside.
say that. That is a gross misrepresentation.
That is
I
not what he said.
never said, did I say that?
No.
You have said that in the
No, I have
past.
not.
and
I have never said
Okay.
that in my entire life.
We'll
Councilman,
look
would
at the
you
minutes.
please withdraw your accusation?
I'm not making an accusation.
You just said, I said the Supreme Court said you can't have a crescent moon. I never said that. I said the Supreme Court has allowed for two exceptions. I don't understand one, and that's all I said.
Two exceptions to what?
Mr. Shedanian.
No, I'm asking you made the
I'm
comment.
quoting Mr. Shedanian and the
Supreme
memo.
Court.
You're on.
Don't talk
But it's
about
not a
the
quote of the
legally
Supreme Court.
books.
That's my
Yes.
answer.
And that's privilege, so we can't talk about that. But what the mayor's referencing is the Supreme Court decision that said that the Christmas tree and the menorah were not true religious symbols or religious symbols at all. They were holiday symbols, and they're representative of the holiday season. Again, I think the mayor said we don't always understand why the Supreme Court rules on things the way they rule on things, but that's what they said in that particular case. And I think the issue is not that, as far as I've heard it in the 3 years I've been here, the mayor has never said that religious symbols, any religious symbol is allowed. Anything related to religion is forbidden from public property in River Edge. That's that's how I understand the policy.
Okay.
So not that one particular item is allowed. And again, because the court has said that the tree is not religious, then it doesn't fall within the parameters of the policy.
All right.
That's how I understand it.
I appreciate that. And I don't want, I'm answering your question. I don't want this to be a back and forth. I heard what I heard. If you're saying that I heard you wrong, then I will accept that as a possibility, that I heard you wrong, okay? But what I'm saying, regardless of what you said, let's separate it out. What I'm saying is that any argument that says that a crescent display cannot be displayed alongside of a menorah and a tree on public grounds is simply not what the Supreme Court has said. The Supreme Court, and I don't want to put people to sleep here. We do have a constitutional lawyer here, but even just, this is not my analysis. I'm going by cases that were cited in the memo, which I'm not going to, quote from because it's a confidential memo. But I'm not introducing any new legal analysis except what is in the memo, okay?
So, Councilman Favre, I think I've made it clear before in my conversations with the council, which are not privileged and the non-privileged ones, that the borough is free to permit all religions.
Yeah.
And change a policy to allow everything. And then that opens up the door to anybody who is a recognized religion putting whatever they want on borough property. Most municipalities do not permit that. I've represented enough to know that that's not permitted.
But Counselor, you know that the Supreme Court and other federal courts have said that it mainly depends on the circumstances of the case. There are times when you can have a religious display that is overtly promoting a religion. There are other times when you could have what looks like a religious display that is really more secular in nature. It's more of a season's greetings, happy holidays type of display. And the courts have over and over and over again in different situations had to figure out when is it a religious display that promotes a religion and when is it more of a cultural display or a secular display that promotes things like diversity or holiday spirit or unity or harmony, things like that. You can use a tree, a menorah, and a crescent to promote those religions. You can also use those same three symbols to promote season's greetings, holiday spirit, diverse community, the joy of having all faiths in our community coming together. You can do all of those things. That's not prohibited. So the idea that, then you're opening the door to all religions, maybe you are. But right now we're dealing with one. We're dealing with the crescent. And to say that you can't have a crescent display because of something that the Supreme Court said
But that's
is
not
just
what I
not
said
correct.
either, Mr. Pfeffer. And since you called me out by name, I feel I have a right to respond. Let me say this.
Well, I was
have
asked,
said
by the way, to
from this
respond to you.
dais that if the council wished to change that policy, they absolutely could.
Yes, and we're going to discuss that.
And so don't put words in my mouth, sir.
No, I did not. I'm
I think you did,
answering.
sir.
You think I did. I don't think I
Because you
did.
said, I want to say the mayor said things that were non-factual, which means you called me a liar.
No, I'm saying you were not correct in your statement. That's not disparaging your character.
Now-
That's saying that you did not say something that was correct.
Okay.
I did not mean any personal offense. I do not think you are a liar.
Okay.
I think you're wrong on this particular issue. And you know
I
that
was just quoting what our attorneys have said to us and have said to us consistently for 15 years that I've been on the council. So
Okay.
now maybe
I don't know if I've
quoted that-
answered the question,
You have.
but okay.
The difference is that you're saying that, you were saying that he said something that was not factual. That's what I wanted to know. what fact he said that was incorrect. So from my knowledge,
Right.
and from what you're saying is that you can disagree with the mayor, with me, with anybody on the council, but to say that we're saying something not factual is misrepresenting what we are saying.
My understanding is that the statement that was not factual was that based on Supreme Court rulings, we cannot have a display of a Christmas tree, a menorah, and a crescent.
No,
And I-
no.
Okay, if that's not what you're saying, then that's great.
That's not what he said, and he has said it many times, quoting the memo from our council and all that. That's not what he said. It says that the Supreme Court, that specific case, the Christmas tree, the tree, and the menorah are not religious symbols, and those are. That's why we have
Well,
those in the borough.
You can call it Easter eggs too.
No, they
It's
call
a holiday.
it, they call it a holiday
Let's-
tree.
Can we
but I mean,
pivot
that's-
off of this
Not yet, because,
soon?
no.
Because we
I
have to
mean,
do it at the end anyway.
if you want to say that you disagree, that's one thing. But to say I didn't say something factual is not acceptable. Not acceptable to me because, sir, I am not offering this as an expert. I was simply quoting the experts that we have hired to represent us.
Okay, I'm not disparaging. You should not take it personally when I disagree with what you're saying, even though you feel that you're quoting from what the
Then,
lawyer
sir,
is
what you should
telling.
have said is, I disagree with what our attorneys have told us.
I think it's factually incorrect. If what
It's
the
factually
attorney has
correct if
told
I'm
you.
quoting our attorneys. It is factually correct if I'm quoting our attorneys.
Well, I don't want to bog this down.
Okay. So the
We can go
facts
on
that-
for a while.
You disagree with the facts that
Yeah.
This is kind of getting in
Yeah.
between you two guys, so let's move on. I mean, we have bigger things to tackle. I have a question. I don't know if you're going to be able to answer this right now, John, and I don't, you don't have to. But the Supreme Court made a determination that the menorah, and I'm going to call it a Christmas tree because that's what it is, are not religious symbols. What did they make a determination that a crescent is a religious symbol?
What the case talks about is the fact, in the particular case at issue, involved like a full religious display, we'll call it, like a full Christmas display, meaning like it was a
manger.
It was a creche, but in the creche there was like a plastic Santa Claus. There was a tree. There was a reindeer. There were things that were clearly not religiously oriented. So what the court said in that situation, and Councilman Pfeffer, I think, is correct when he says that these are all case-by-case analysis, as are most things in that are legal. I don't like when people, whether they're judges or lawyers, say that things are black or white. They're not. Everything is gray, and every one of these things has to be looked at in its individual setting. So in that particular case, which I believe the borough's policy and the mayor said, which long predates me, just for the record, says that the that was a lawyer equivocation right there.
I don't mind
that when you have a display such as in that particular case, which I think is the Allegheny case, if I'm remembering the name of the case correctly, it says that that you can have all these different items that are clearly not religious. That takes it out of the religious context. But if something is purely religious, like a cross, right, for example, which is like the quintessential for Christianity, that's the quintessential religious symbol, that if you have a cross, that would be an Establishment Clause violation because you're favoring one religion over the other.
So did they establish a standard for what makes something?
No, they said throw it back to you, Marv, and you figure it out.
It's like with many of the cases, you go down to the lower courts and everybody brings it up to the Supreme Court. They make the decision. That's it. And then somebody can challenge on another issue. Somebody can bring a case on the lower court, say, hey, the crescent should be able to be displayed. And that goes
Someone
up to
needs
the
to
Supreme
do
Court,
that.
and they make the decision whether or not it can. Take it off.
So I have a.
That absolutely could happen. And this council could later today decide that it wants to allow for all
Sure,
religious symbols, and that would be fine.
That sounds like what's happening in other municipalities.
Different
I'm not
municipalities
sure.
have different things. We have a survey to look at.
Yeah, I know, but there wasn't a lot of data there. That's why I thank the crowd for the additional data we received today, because I think it's a little bit eye-opening and helpful.
I was going to say this, but I spoke to the mayor of New Milford because New Milford wasn't listed, and he said he understood, and they had decided that they were going to allow any religious symbols, and that's what they do. They just, they put out a creche, they'll put out a cross, they'll put out, anything, because, and I'm just quoting what lawyers have been saying for the last 15 years, you either do all or you do none. So you can't say, well, for this particular item, we're going to say yes, but we're going to reserve judgment on others. Now, our attorney may say something different, but
no. And I don't like to interrupt there, but
so that's the context I was placing it in. I was just
Okay.
simply saying the context where we currently in is we are not saying we don't celebrate and recognize religious holidays. We do.
Oh, yeah, of
And there
course.
was just pictures of me doing that.
That's the whole point.
A proclamation. What we don't do is put these symbols on our front lawn yet or at all. That's what the council will decide. Will it decide that it wants to have another conversation later? Will it decide that it wants to stay with the current policy? Or will it decide that it wants to change the policy?
Right.
And that's okay.
Yeah, I get it.
And I don't think I said anything not factual, but I understand that
Okay.
we're agreeing to disagree.
We'll agree to disagree. One thing that we might all agree on, I'm just going to put this to Mr. Shadanian. Are there cases, and I think I know the answer to this, but maybe I'm wrong, okay? Are there cases where a court, whether it's not necessarily the Supreme Court, but courts, federal courts, have considered situations where there's a tree, a menorah, and a crescent, nothing else, that specific fact pattern, and said it's okay?
not that specific fact pattern. that
It's
I've-
in your memo. Okay.
Not those- not
We'll
those-
talk about it later. All right, if that, that's your answer, so that's fine. But I would assert that there is at least one federal case where that exactly was upheld by a federal court.
I have to read it again. It's been a minute.
Okay,
It's,
sure, sure. Yeah, no, I understand. There's a lot of cases.
But I think at the end of the day, it's a policy decision of the council. I think that's what it comes down to.
That's what it is.
I'm-
That was the
I'm-
point I was
I'm-
making.
I'm-
Then that's
I'm-
the bottom line.
Well, I mean,
As long as we can do it.
Because the mayor invoked New Milford, I'm the borough attorney in New Milford, as the council knows. New Milford allows everything. That's their policy, right? It's not a legal issue per se. The legal issue comes into whether or not you're inhibiting, to council's comment earlier, someone's civil rights, right? And whether or not you're exposing the municipality to some type of potential litigation because of that.
So what you're
that's
saying
the
is,
concern.
it can be done. It's not illegal to do it.
100%.
And I never said it was illegal either.
I thought you had.
Is
So
it-
if you never did, then,
Council, year after year after year that I've been mayor, when this has come up or anything, I've said, the council can change its policy as it wants. Council's current policy is based on this Supreme Court decision. Council wants to change that, they can. They don't have to.
Is a crescent a religious symbol, John?
You're asking, I'm not an expert on it. I mean, again, listen,
No.
I'm going to say this.
We gave you your time.
There are people
This
in
is
the
our time.
audience who know that.
No, I'm sorry. No.
You want to talk about the procedure, you can mention, if you want to, just so the public knows that the procedure is not a back and forth. I mean, if you want to-
Yes, well, go ahead.
There are people in the audience who know. I have a partner who is the founder of the New Jersey and New York Muslim Bar Association, all right? So, and he's very well recognized, and he and I have had this discussion on more than one occasion. I would defer to Assad as an expert on whether or not it's, but I'm not. And so, I mean, that's not
We need
something
to know
that is a lawyer, that no lawyer, I don't think that's not a lawyer's question. I think that's a question for an imam or a
Well,
question for someone
It sounds
who's
like a
an
bunch of
expert in
lawyers
a-
decided a Christmas tree and a menorah are not.
Those 9 wear black robes.
Get a lot of
I don't have a
Sorry,
robe on.
I'm
I don't
just-
have
I'm
a
just
robe
tell-
on, Councilman.
I'm just telling you what I'm hearing.
For us, it's a question of civil rights and liability. That's what it's a question for, and that's what we're going to
Absolutely.
discuss later. And that's the point I was making. We're not saying we don't recognize Ramadan or we don't recognize religious holidays or Diwali. There's no symbol of Diwali on the borough property. It was asked for and denied for the same policy. But you can find on the Mayor of River Edge page, Diwali ceremony after Diwali ceremony that I'm present at. And any other religious group in town that wants to invite me or the council for us to recognize it, we'd be honored to. This is not the question. The question is, do we wish to change our policy or not? Our current policy is based on a specific Supreme Court decision. Council can change it if they want. They don't have to change it, but it's either one way or another, either everybody or nobody. And that went really long. And we're going to have another discussion. So, okay. So, Chief, would you like to speak to some of the things that were raised in the other items or not? If you would, please come forward. Oh, okay. John.
Chief Walker, River Edge Police Department. So just to touch on, I think we had a conversation, if I recall correctly, right? Yeah. Sure. After the incident. And what I just want to point out is I think that there's, certainly understand the concern, that people have and the opinions that people have could go either way, right? When I look at it, I look at these concerns that came forward, and I see, look at what we have in place already for the River Edge Police Department. We follow things that trickle down from the state, right? So the Attorney General's guidelines from 2018, I believe the last time, 2019 it was revised. Directive strengthening trust between law enforcement and immigrant communities. This is the Immigrant Trust Directive from the AG's guidelines. We follow that. We followed it since it was put out. In that, many of the things that were spoken about by our two residents are in there. They're covered, and we do follow it. In addition to that, being an accredited police department, we also have a 12-page standard operating procedure titled Interacting with the Immigrant Community. And that is very detailed. And that's what the officers, follow and have to abide by. And I think this is important to know, because I think sometimes when you see something and you're not sure, you can say, gee, what's going on? There's no, we wonder what they're up to. And that's understanding. And I do communicate with the superintendents of schools every time there is an incident around the schools. I make them aware. I made them aware of this incident. People do get arrested around the schools. Not that often, but it happens. This isn't the first individual to be arrested in front of the school. Our officers responded because they received a call from actually our SLEO 3, which is a Special Law Enforcement Officer Class 3 at Roosevelt School. And I was very satisfied about how that took place. He saw some unmarked cars. He knew they weren't ours. He called it in. My officers responded, identified who the agents were. Agents said, stated their reason for detaining this individual. They detained him without incident, and they left the scene. All right. There was comments made about he wanted to call somebody in his family. That did take place afterwards at another location. Our policy, just so it's understood, if we're arresting you, you can't call somebody on site, on scene. All right. It's about protection exactly of the public and the officers and the individual. Can't have a real long dialogue when you're arresting somebody. The individual was not a River Edge resident. It's the second ICE incident in town. The first one was last year, where they came into town. The first individual worked at a business. They were not River Edge resident. They were coming for the individual. So they're not driving around River Edge. They're not roving around River Edge. And without getting into detail, because the AG's guidelines are 13 pages long and our SOP is 12 pages long. Also, the officers are trained. Each year we go through training on bias, training on ethics, every single year. I feel very confident that the officers in River Edge make the right decisions. And when other agencies come into town, ICE made us aware of the first incident. They changed their procedures. They make their procedures. The second incident, they didn't make us aware of it. They have their reasons why. Much of that has to just do with their operations and things that can happen. And we focus on the safety of the River Edge community by far. We want to make sure River Edge is safe. That's my job, and I take it very seriously. My children go to schools in town, and I take it very personal. My wife works at the school in town. I take it very personal. With that being said, this information is available. You can certainly go online and find the trust guidelines. If you do that, I think you'll find that much of what you're referring to is in there, right? So just know that we have to follow those guidelines. And in addition to that, I'm very proud to say that being an accredited agency, we also have an SOP that you may not find in every police department, but ones that are accredited. And that's a lengthy SOP, as SOPs go. It's 12 pages long.
Just so
and
the
I would
public knows,
offer
SOP stands for?
Standard Operating Procedure. Sorry, thank you. You always get me with the acronyms. And I would offer that if somebody wants to come in and spend some time with me, I would gladly go over what our standard operating procedure is. We can discuss the Attorney General's guidelines. And there's other material that comes from the Bergen County Prosecutor's Office directives, things that are coming out, often, especially given the atmosphere, right, of what's going on in the country, as updates, as different cases and different things take place. We stay on top of that, and we make sure we do. So I want the residents to know that, River Edge is a safe community. ICE coming into town twice in the last year for their business, it's their business. They can come into town. They can make an arrest. We're going to show up, okay? Because I need to make sure that what's going on doesn't affect the community, right? So if I don't have my officers show up and it goes bad direction, then now we're behind the eight ball because I can't get there right away and take care of something. For example, if there was, you can imagine, if the situation goes bad, we can come up with a million different scenarios. So my officers will respond, and they will take a perimeter type of approach and make sure that everything goes safe. And again, we do not share our building with them. We do not share any of our equipment with them. Personnel isn't shared to the extent that I'm telling you we will respond when we know they're there, because I have to make sure that things are safe. We know the school is there, right? We have access to the school. Obviously, we have a SLEO 3 there. We're making sure everything around them is operating the safest it can be. But we will not get hands-on with them unless I have to get hands-on because, again, the safety perimeter, something goes wrong with that. So I think this is important to know and important to hear from me, because I don't want the River Edge residents to think that, ICE is coming in. We see a lot of crazy things on social media. We see a lot of crazy things on the news. And I don't want you to think that ICE is in town and they're just like, hey, we're going to be in town for the next month and we're just going to look for anybody we can and lock them up. That's absolutely not the case. They do not go into schools. I've, chiefs meetings that we have at a state level where I think there's 580 chiefs in New Jersey. A good 500 of them show up. We've had people from ICE come, the Attorney General's office from the federal level, to reassure us of what they do and don't do. And we bring that back and we make sure that we can do the best that we can with it.
Thank you, Chief.
Sure.
No.
I have a question.
Your council does. Council can.
Thank you, Chief Walker.
Sure.
It's very helpful. If I understand this correctly, please correct me if I'm wrong. I wrote it down, so I want to read it. This borough, including this body and every department within the borough, did not in any way support the actions taken by ICE.
No, we're, by the State
provide
Attorney
no
General's
support.
guidelines, we are directed not to, cooperate. Well, my officers respond, they're going to identify each other. So there's a conversation.
Yeah.
Like, it needs to be clear that there's not like a wall of like, hey, that's ICE, don't even look at them. Or like, don't even, we have to identify them. There have also been incidents where people, I don't know what the word to use, but like sick people will like dress up as ICE, right? So we can't just go, look, that's ICE, let's go the other way. We want to see who they are And we want to identify, make sure it's everything that is going on is legitimate, and then go from there. But cooperation to the extent of getting hands-on, like, hey, we know where, you know, there might be potential illegal immigrant living or things, absolutely not. We cannot do that. And if we do that, it's a very big problem for local law enforcement.
So we're not supporting their actions,
Right.
actively supporting their actions.
Correct.
Thank you.
I do have another question. Chief, thank you for educating us and the public about all this. I think some of the residents ask about communications. To what extent is the police department aware that ICE is going to be in town? Because I think that was the questions that
So the first incident was January of last year, and they made us aware that they were coming into town. The second incident, they didn't make us aware. We asked them about that, and they changed their policy on that. And it's, you know, I can see that it's probably for safety reasons.
Right.
All right, so there was mention about, hey, can you put out a public broadcast and let the residents know that ICE is coming to town? And I can't. I don't have the information. And quite honestly, that can cause for some issues. Okay, there's proper and peaceful ways to protest, and unfortunately, sometimes these protests with ICE have gone the wrong way, and that's where very bad things can happen. You know, and not, you know, again, I'm not picking any side with this. I'm just being very real. I want to make sure the residents of River Edge are safe. You know, and I understand the feeling that certainly many residents may have. But the truth of the matter is, we're obligated to follow AG's guidelines. My officers are obligated to follow our own SOP. We do training every year, and I think we do a very, very good job with it.
One last comment. I think I speak for myself, but half of the council is actually immigrants, if you were not aware. So we actually take this serious, and the fact that we do not support or cooperate the way that the chief has described, I think we need to take it for what it is. And River Edge is a safe town. Things will happen, but it's not that they're utilizing the building here, your patrol cars, any facilities to conduct their business. So I think I want that to be very clear, and I appreciate you explaining that up to us.
Sure, and everything you said was correct.
Sorry?
Everyone in this country is an immigrant.
No, but half of the council actually
Not the
are
Native Americans.
non-born US.
That's true.
So that is a distinction that,
Yeah, currently.
Mr. Mayor, I have a
currently,
question.
yes.
Sure, yeah.
Question for the chief.
Sure.
Thank you for that presentation, for all that you do for the community. I'm just wondering, again, for the benefit of the public, if you can say, if people see an incident in town that either involves ICE or maybe involves something that they think is ICE, whether it really is or not, is there a vehicle where they can go to the police department? I don't want you to suddenly get, 500 phone calls, but what is the mechanism where people can contact the police department and say, we saw something happen on Kinderkamak Road the other day. We think that ICE is in the area, and they have questions about that. Is there a vehicle for that kind of information exchange?
So in a general sense for discussion, I'm always available. You can always come into the police department, police desk. But I stress, if you see something and you believe it's suspicious or it's concerning, you should call the police department. Our regular number is 201-262-1233 or 911. You can call 911. If it's not an emergency, look, we don't want to inundate 911 with non-emergency calls, but if it's so concerning to you, then call 911. I much prefer to have my officers respond to something and find out that it's not what was perceived to be, or respond to something and diffuse it, okay? Or respond to something, just gain information, rather than this happened last week and it didn't look good and we were wondering about it, puts us behind the 8 ball, all right? We will respond to everything, and we respond to very serious things and we respond to very silly things, but we respond. Every single time we will respond. This is a perfect example. And this came from my SLEO 3. If it wasn't from him, I'm sure a resident would have called. As you know, some residents were witnessing it. And I would say that too, this age of social media and cell phones. Many people's first instance is just to take their phone out. I understand that, but you have to be very careful. You're potentially putting yourself in the middle of what could be, I don't know. I can't tell you exactly what's going to happen. I can tell you what did happen. It was an uneventful arrest, meaning they arrested the individual without incident. They didn't have to, there was no real wrestle or anything with it. So that's okay. But if there was, and you're standing close by with a cell phone and it goes the wrong way, we've seen that in the news, and it's horrific. And that's the last thing I want to happen in River Edge with any agency that comes into town. I get it though. People want to do their thing and record it, but I have to stress how careful and dangerous that can be. I'd much rather you call us. You are on a tape line. You can say everything and record everything you're seeing on a tape line, which is a great thing for us to have. I see these cars, they look like this. I see a license plate. I see somebody that looks like this. All that's getting recorded, and we can go back and use it for investigative purposes if we need to follow up on something that did go the wrong way and say, okay, this is what the individual was saying. All right. So we will take it seriously. I assure you that we will take it seriously.
Thank you.
Any other comments from the council in regards to the second topic?
No, I just wanted to say thank you, Chief, for explaining to us and as well as the public
Absolutely.
What was going on.
Anytime.
And just to follow up, just to piggyback on Lisa's question about when ICE contacts you. Do they tell you what they're doing, like in terms of, are they going to a resident? Are they looking for a person?
They don't contact us.
They don't, no, the first time in January.
The first time they said they were coming and to pick up an individual that worked at a specific business.
That was it.
So we just set up a perimeter. They went in and walked out with the individual, and they left.
And that was it.
That was it. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Chief.
Good.
Chief, stay there. No, actually don't, because we got to get the environmental, and we're going to have you afterwards.
You want Patty to?
Could I have a motion and second? No, never mind. We're into presentations. Chief, would you mind if environmental went first? I don't think they're going to be long.
Whatever you need to do.
If you could bring Patty in.
Yeah.
We're back to the agenda
Patty's
as
been waiting.
printed.
Sorry.
That's okay.
You maximize or unpin the council. Okay, even better.
She's on it.
Beautiful. Okay.
I'm trying.
Yourself and just give for the public's benefit, a short explanation of what you're hoping to achieve.
Sure. So my name is Patty Omberg. I am the co-chair of the River Edge Environmental Protection Commission. We wanted to speak tonight about our 2025 annual report and our accomplishments. Can you see that? I shared my screen. Can you see it?
Yes, it is visible to the general public, and please continue. You may want to go into presentation mode because right now it's difficult to see.
Yeah, well.
Yes.
I got you. Got it. Yeah, there you go. Slideshow. Okay, perfect. All right, I'm going to go quick because you had a. Can you see it?
Yes, very well.
Perfect. Okay, so we, both the Environmental Protection Commission and Green Team, work closely together. Here are some of the things we've done this year. We do a Hackensack River cleanup May and October. We are working on Skip the Stuff, which was just signed into law in January. So we've been working on a letter, and now even more diligently this year for the August 1st rollout of that. We attend the Bergen Hub meetings quarterly. We find them very helpful for us. We share a lot of great information. One of the most recent things is there's some towns that are doing pickleball and tennis ball recycling. So we're going to look into that with the rec department. We do EPS, expanded polystyrene, which people know as styrofoam collections. We did 3 of those last year. We also started for the first time a sports equipment swap with the recreation department. We held one in March, and then we held one in October where we also added Halloween costumes. They were both successful, and we've already done one this year. I'm going really quick because I know you guys have been super busy, so I appreciate your time. We do a second chance toy drive that we've done for many years. We collected about 500 toys. Yes.
Can you hear me? Listen, you're going fine. and we are not going to rush you. You are free to take the time and expound on anything you want. Do not feel, we have to thank you for being so patient. You have been so gracious to us.
I feel there was so much before us, and I appreciate everybody's information. There was a lot this meeting for you guys, so I just want to be cognizant of everybody's time. And we did submit a more detailed report. If you need, I can email all the council people directly with it, or if Lizette and Ann, you want to do that, that's fine as well.
It's easier, Patty, if you just send it to Lizette or Ann, and they will forward it to the council.
Super, great.
It's also on the packet, so they already have it. We already have it.
Oh, great. Okay. That's the detail of it. So the Second Chance Toy Drive we've done for a number of years. We do it at Cherry Hill in April. In 2025, we collected over 500 toys, and it usually last year it went to Patterson Public School. We also last year started to collect banana and orange peels at the River Edge Run, and we work with neighborhood compost to get those composted properly. We hosted a composting 101 class at the library in May. We do a prom box collection that we've done for a couple of years now with Riverdale Florist and with Delford Florists. So what it is we ask those boxes that the corsages, the boutonnieres and corsages come in are not recyclable. There's no running triangle on those. So what we do is have people bring them back. This way the florist can use it a second, maybe a third time. It's a good reuse of things, and they're very happy to work with us. And we give out a $25 Dunkin' Donut gift card to one lucky winner that returns their prom box.
Nice.
We host a flower and vegetable garden contest every year. It's on Facebook. We have some really great people that garden, and we encourage more to look into it. We attend River Edge Day so that people can learn a little bit more about us and ask questions. Let's see, our dreams and goals. We have talked many times about a community garden. We've always looked at that Cherry Hill park next to Cherry Hill School. We feel it's open space. It would be a great space. We're trying to possibly do like a mini community garden as a start. So that's one of the things. We're also looking to do that shared service agreement with Ridgewood so we can continue doing the styrofoam collections. We have a lot of interest from our town people asking when we're doing it again. So we have not done anything this year because we're waiting to see if we can do that shared service agreement. And we'd also like to do a municipal composting. There are currently 10 towns in Bergen County that compost with neighborhood compost. So it's a municipal. A couple towns do it for free. Most it's about a $16 to $18 monthly charge. It reduces a lot of waste. As you know, they just passed a bill about solid waste reduction, and it's a 50% solid waste reduction for municipalities. I think starting 2035, and it's based on your 2022 collections. So we figured better to start early than late. And if you've ever composted, you know how incredibly small your garbage ends up being. So I think for the town, it would be a great win-win. You'd cut your garbage costs, and you'd also meet those 2035 goals that will be here before any of us know it.
Hey Patty, can I jump in? Can I jump in
Sure.
on the styrofoam too and second all that
Sure.
stuff? The
Yep, go ahead, David.
styrofoam, as we've talked with the community when we've done the collections, has been a very popular event. Just a little more color on that. There's a lot of folks that have to get medicines delivered to their house that have to be refrigerated. So there's some thick styrofoam. If anybody has used food services like Omaha Steaks or things like that, you get these big cubes of styrofoam that can be recycled. And I think Ridgewood has a very user-friendly agreement. If we can come up with an MOU with them where we can work ourselves to bring the styrofoam collected over, where some of the things we had in the past with the Bergen County Center, there had to be some DPW folks available and things like that. So If we could really push to get that MOU agreement done, we would really appreciate it. The community would really appreciate it. There's a lot of styrofoam that I'm sure is just going in the trash right now, which is just unfortunately a shame. So we'd really like to kick those back up starting as soon as possible.
Super. So basically, the earth does not belong to us. We belong to the earth. And I'm going to read, I think this is great for tonight. I did it earlier. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. So I ask the mayor and council in the town to please join us, to please help us, and to please continue to support us. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Patty.
That's it.
Any member of council wish to ask the presenters any question or make any comments before the presentation is over?
I have a question.
Sure.
Mayor. Thank you, Patty and David, for your presentation. It's much appreciated, all the work you do to help the environment in River Edge. I know you had something on your slide for municipal composting. Can you just tell us a little bit about this? Because I know we spoke about it on River Edge Day last year and most recently at another event. So if you can just speak about that a little bit.
Sure. So I have, so the Riverdale Middle School, Claire O'Connor is really, they compost up there. It's really a benefit to the town. I think if you would ask any of these, I mean, I'm not going to read any of this, but the amount of towns that, these 10 towns that have used neighborhood compost through the last few years is quite high. It would just be 2 large, like 96-gallon garbage cans with a code on it. It just, all that needs to happen from the town is we need a spot and just the approval. We need the health department and the DPW to sign off on it. As far as the involvement from anybody at the town level, the neighborhood compost bills the residents directly. So I see it as a win-win. It's just getting at least 25 families to sign up. At the end, they will compost it. And then if you participate in the program, you also get the soil the following season. So if you're a gardener, or if you want to liven up your beds around your house, it's great soil. So I can't think of any downside. I know a lot of times the biggest complaint people say about compost is animals, creatures, etc. I have a compost in my backyard, and the squirrels and the deer and the chipmunks eat everything but what's around the compost. So it's really a healthy, positive way for the environment. If you haven't composted, it's incredible how much you reduce your garbage. And I think it's an easy sell for town people, and I also think it's an easy company to work with. I'll just list the towns: Tenafly, Ridgefield Park, Ramsey, Leonia, Demorest, Paramus, North Haledon, Teaneck, Hohokus, and Rutherford are the ones currently using their services.
And to add to that, I think to Patty's point about the cost reduction, I believe our waste services are billed by pound. If we could get some of that waste out of our regular garbage pickup, I think there's a return on investment for a small investment from the town or even the residents, where it's going to save us some money down the road, which can be reinvested in other things. I know every town is hurting for money, and this is a good potential budget savings that can be pushed through. And as Patty said, in 2035, I think it's going to be required anyway. So, let's try to get on this early, figure out if we can hit those numbers, and if we can't just with composting, maybe we have to work on other things and we'd have time to do it.
Okay, thank you.
All right, any other member of council wish to ask a question? Okay, thank you, both of you. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Patty. Really appreciate you being here. And if you need to coordinate anything, please do so through the borough administrator, okay?
Sounds good. Appreciate the time.
Super.
Bye.
Thank you for your time.
All right then, bye-bye. Okay, the next thing on our agenda is survey and proposed traffic study ordinance. Now, I do have to say that by code, the council meeting ends at 10 PM, but that's not the end of the story. The council can, by majority vote, extend past 10 PM. When we're getting close to that time, it's now 9:04, I will ask to see if the council wishes to do that. If the council chooses not to do that, then we would pass whatever needs to be passed by resolution or ordinance, and then we would reschedule anything undone for the very next meeting. And it will absolutely be rescheduled. So it's council's decision when we get a little bit closer. Chief, Sergeant Diamond, if you could take the center seats. This is a presentation on survey and proposed traffic ordinance study. And for a portion of it, I will have to recuse myself because there is a portion of it that the police department has suggested or they are proposing that would directly affect a very small part of town, and I live within that small portion of town. So when that portion comes up, I will step out to the closed session room, and you guys just need to call me back, and the council president during that time will take the center seat.
Mayor, I have a procedural question regarding like the 10 PM curfew. If we had an urgent matter that we couldn't get to by 10 PM and we had to punt, does it have to go to the next meeting, or if it's an emergency thing, could we?
The council could call for a special meeting, but normally the procedure is to be an emergency, it would have to be a resolution or ordinance. That would be considered, unless I'm wrong. So that would be the only thing. So when we get to about 10:02, at that point, I'm going to call for the resolutions to be passed. And then if the council wishes at that time to extend for other matters, they may do so.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Chief, do I go or do I stay?
You want to start? I think the easiest way to do this, Mayor, if we just start with the 9 to 11, it'll be 10 minutes and bring you in right afterwards.
All right.
If you don't mind.
So I will now recuse and relieve the center seat to the council president. Council president.
Can I call you acting mayor?
Actually, she is at this point.
Oh, I'm calling you acting. Look at that. Put on the road. You good? No.
Take away.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and Council. As the Chief and I were directed to by the council was to look at the 9 to 11 ordinance. It was approximately 11 months ago today since we sat in front of you. Councilman Bruce, I know you weren't on the council on time, so I did put the PowerPoint in everyone's presentation that was there a year ago.
Appreciate that.
I won't go through it slide by slide to save time, but there it is there. After 9 to 11, we'll briefly go through it. So we were tasked to survey the residents between 9 to 11 to amend the ordinance if the mayor and council so choose. So that's what we did. Since last summer, we've sent out 3 letters to the affected residents into the 9 to 11 zones. Out of those, there was 250 letters given, and we got 102 responses back as a police department, resulting into a 40% response rate out of the residents that are affected in that zone. If you open up this packet, this is the survey results. Just for confidentiality, I blacked out the house numbers as they were promised that their results would never be public and it would stay within the chief's office and the traffic unit. So that's why you'll see the blackout on this side. So I did it by street. As you can see, Center Ave, we had 10 yeses, 2 nos, and the rest were no responses. Some wrote me 3-4 pages on the survey instead of 3, but I kind of just summarized it into a sentence if I could, so you can see some of those comments. Moving along, Bloomfield Ave was 3 yeses, 2 nos. Elizabeth was 10 yeses, 2 nos. Windsor Road was 8 yeses, 4 nos. Voorhees Ave was 5 yeses, 2 nos. Manning Ave was 5 yeses, 1 no. Jefferson was 6 yeses, 0 nos. Spring Valley was 7 yeses, 2 nos. and Washington was 1 no, and Monroe was 0 yeses, 1 no, and Williams was 2 yeses, and finally Christie Ave, which is on the back, was 3 yeses and 1 no. We also held a town hall meeting last year over Zoom. We had a great turnout, I would say, on that, Chief, and many residents expressed concerns about if the mayor and council chose to amend the ordinance, why would they be affected with the snow ordinance? So with that, we also had the department head of Public Works and other departments. We had a meeting and we came up with a solution for making the snow ordinance, if you so choose. We're not taking a position on that, yes or no, as a police department, is making the whole town odd and evens for snow removal. It'd bring equity to the town. Basically, if it was an even day, you can park on the even side of the street. If it's an odd day, you park on the odd, only when the roads are snow covered, except there's a caveat, like down by the beaches, some of the numbers go crazy and odds and evens jump. So we would have to carve out a section of the ordinance down by the beaches. I think there's one other, Monroe, or somewhere down by Valley, there's another area. And then we would adjust the ordinance by the apartments if the mayor and council so choose to go that route.
May I interrupt?
Yes.
Just one question? Sorry, could you please, for the record and everyone, what was the question on this letter to the residents, please?
So if there was a sample letter in the original packet, however, I reprinted it out. If you go, it should be all the way in the back. I'll find it. It's in.
This is the one dated May 10th?
Yes.
It's on the back of the second sheet. in the
Oh, there you
packet.
go. Thank you so much. Up there. That's it. So this was the letter given to any resident within the current parking restriction. And this was provided, hand-delivered by myself. I got a lot of steps in, so I know everyone got it. I also followed up with the mail, USPS. We then delivered it by mail. And then we did a third attempt, me hand delivering it to the mailboxes of the people that didn't respond. So there was 3 attempts for this letter for the households that didn't respond. There was 2 households that gave 2 letters, but we only counted it once for the record.
So I am in favor of the proposed residential permit parking ordinance for 9 to 11 a.m. whether or not.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
This is the ask, right?
Yes,
This
down
is the
here,
yes
this
or
is
no.
the response, how I tallied it.
Okay.
Name, address, phone optional, email optional, favor, and then comments. And then we also held the Zoom meeting and I took comments.
So
from
were
there.
the majority in favor or against?
It was a mixed bag, but yes, majority of the responses were in favor, but I wouldn't say it was overwhelmingly or not.
Thank you.
So we don't need an answer on it tonight. It just is a lot of manpower if we do want to move forward with it. And not to jump, I know the mayor's not here. The police department is requesting to come to a summer meeting. So if that is the wish to go, we can then have a crafted ordinances ready for everyone to review at that time. I just wanted to give everyone the survey results before and getting the blessing to move forward, since it's not going to be like a 2-hour ordeal for the police department. It'll probably take me a few weeks and it will be a whole month project to get this up and running with the details and not. But if the mayor and council don't wish to move forward, I'll open my file cabinet and put it in for the future. So,
Should the mayor come back now, or should?
if no one has questions on 9 to 11, then.
He had to go move his car.
I do have a question.
Go ahead, Glenn.
No, so the proposal is to remove the 9 to 5 restriction and change it to residential parking zone?
We were tasked from the police department, from the mayor and council last year to allow residents to park into the 9/11 zone. So I'll just cut it short. The idea was to allow residential parking as the state of law allows now. You would get on the other side, if you lived in the district and the street, you would get a resident sticker that coincides to that street and your district. So that would allow, if you lived on Adams Ave, to park in front of your house between the hours of 9 to 11. However, if you lived up on Midland Ave, you would not be able to park. So it allow flexibility for those specific residents in those district zones to be able to park on the public street in front of their house.
You're gonna use
But,
the color, right?
yeah, so all these colors would change. However, what District 8, if you live on, let's say, Jefferson, if you really wanted to, you could still be allowed to go park on Adams. We're not gonna be specific. We did districts and colors, but it would limit it to like a couple of the streets. It would be
So if
easy.
you parked, for example, on the east side of Kindermack, in the 9 to 11, you still could be in zone 1, but you'd have a color on your zone 1 sticker, so that people in zone 1 up on 5th couldn't come down and park, because that's what would happen. Right, so it does cause for restrictions.
So only people between Kinderknack and Bogart would
So
get the stickers?
Resident stickers are open to all residents in town now.
Right.
However, our idea is put a permit number on here, and there'll be an expiration, and that number would change if you lived into a 9 to 11 current parking restriction as it stands now. So you're looking at the section of town between River Edge Road, Midland, and Kinderknack, but it's really by the transit stations
Okay,
that
so
this
wherever
ordinance
it's
was
posted
enacted.
now.
Wherever you
Yeah,
see the
it
9
now.
to 11 base.
No additional, we're just trying to make it less restrictive.
So is this like a
as I
big burden
understand.
for you guys to enforce this? Would this be?
Right now, it'd be the current burden is that if an officer is not assigned to a call for service, usually we're very busy during the day shift. But if their officer's free, they have to do 9 and 11 enforcement. It would be the same thing. What burdens the police department will be getting this off the ground, so a one-time burden. And that's why I have the chief, that burdens the chief out of, he's gonna administer it, but.
That's why I got him.
And it'll come back on my lap, but I am open for that. I have a plan in my head if you guys do want to move forward.
And as you should remember, there's a cost to it. right?
I was just gonna ask
Signs.
that question, yeah.
And there's also our counterpart with the DPW has to go do all the signs.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So there is,
It's in the PowerPoint, it's still estimated at 20,000, but I would venture to say I would add another few thousand to that since inflation. I can update that cost for the summer meeting if we want to move forward. Just call it the summer meeting, so.
Is there a fee for the resident as well, for the,
That's up to the mayor and council.
Got it, okay.
And I would defer, actually, I would like some access with the chief to the borough attorney on that, because some say you have to charge at least $1 because it's a permit, some say it's not, so I will defer to legal counsel on that. But at that time, we want to move forward.
okay.
Why would
Fair
anyone
enough.
not want to be able to park on their street between 9 and 11? I mean,
Some residents don't want any cars on streets. We get, as the chief mentioned before in his statement, we get some very silly phone calls. Why is this car parked on my street? It's red, I've never seen it before. Could be a neighbor's relative, we don't know, but that's a public street. We can't tell someone not to park there.
Yeah, so I do have a question. I mean,
happening
Center Ave has a lot of adjacent businesses, right? Am I wrong? Like off
Oh, on the
Kinderknack?
north by River
Yeah,
Ridge Road? Yeah.
right. So when we send these letters to the residents, were they sent to the property owners or the businesses themselves? Because I know some people have already approached me with questions about their concerns from a business perspective, how detrimental this may be for their clientele.
So you can't park on Center Ave from 9 to 11, 2/3 of the way down. So that's not changing. All we're doing is allowing those residents from River Edge Road to, I would say, that Paper Street, if everyone's familiar
Right.
with, that's where that restriction ends. All we're going to do is allow those homeowners in that area to park 9 to 11. So it's no different as a business owner. Moving on, moving forward in the presentation, right now in the upper lot, we allow for 2-hour parking in the upper train lot for the customers of those businesses. And we also, the employees use Grove Street and they get the permit from there. We can expand that 2-hour parking if the mayor and council wish. There is room for that, but I would venture to say we would want to study before we make a recommendation to do anything.
And that lot is the one above the train station?
Correct.
Okay.
The upper lot.
I didn't know.
Yeah, so
I
that
did- I
whole
just- I didn't know that actually you could, if you didn't have a permit for the train, you could park there.
Yeah, it's 2-hour parking. What we found is though, some of the business owners use that all day and they don't, that's their customers parking.
Yeah.
And we came in, and a few of them got a few tickets. That's the only reason why I know, and I happen to be working, and they're like, we own I'm like, well, you're supposed to be using Rose Street.
Part of the lot
Yeah.
is 2 hour parking.
It's only that
Part
back
of the
row.
lot.
I mean,
I
up the
see.
lot.
Okay.
What are you chalking the tires?
We do chalk around the tires and do 2 hours when we get complaints. So, so that's like the 9 to 11 in a brief overview.
Do we bring in
If you would like to bring in,
the young
I
fellow?
thought I wish you could stay acting mayor for a little bit longer.
That was fast.
So. Oh, we should, if you do want to move forward, if it's okay with Lizette, like create, like, if it's, I don't know if you guys do committees or like working groups. I think it would be beneficial if the borough administrator and maybe like a couple council people have a working group with it to move forward. This way, when it comes to the summer meeting, eyes are dots. So, sorry to rope you in.
I'll return the.
So,
You texted him, right?
but,
Okay.
but that's,
Did you sell the town?
I tried.
I got a 15% raise by that.
Awesome. All right, thank you. Chief, Sergeant, continue.
Sorry. Real quick, I'm not gonna go, this is the same exact PowerPoint that we did last summer, but just so the Councilman Fig knows everything we're talking about.
You don't have to do it just for me.
What?
You don't have to do it just
I'm
for me.
gonna really quick, because I
Okay.
want to refresh some memories, if you don't mind.
I'm in enough hot water tonight. So.
The non-paved surfaces that we spoke about, we said we wanted to bundle all these ordinances together. So we are going to present it at the, I'll just keep calling it the summer meeting, that put all these together and have all the ordinances. I know you, the previous mayor and council green-lighted it. I just want to make sure that if we spend the time, that it's still a go-ahead, that on non-paved surfaces. So we're talking about between Wales and Woodland, there's a paper street. We put up new channel posts to prevent people driving there because it became such a safety concern. We call it the Millbrook Road School Path. You've got the Oak Ave paper street that Amazon keeps driving on, that this discount, the drainage is under. The Elm Place paper street, 2-3 winters ago during a blizzard, car wanted to do donuts down there. We had to yank it out with a tow truck down the hill. So those are the non-paved surfaces that the police department is talking about that we want to pass an ordinance on.
Is there objection? Hearing none?
Thank you. Again, we spoke about a year ago about the numerous trailers that are just parked on the street, not attached. Again, the previous mayor and council green-lighted that, but we wanted to keep it bundled together for when we move everything. That was green-lighted. I just want to confirm that's still.
Is there
green-lighted.
objection? Hearing none.
Right. Numerous vehicles, or we get complaints about eyesores on public streets being covered in random tarps and car covers, and they're eyesores. There's nothing right now the police department can do when it's on a public roadway less than 48 hours. You green-lighted it with the caveat of during a snowstorm, they get 24 hours to keep their car. I just want to make sure that's still good.
Any objection? Hearing none.
No stopping or standing in the train station, which is the lower lot, has been a concern that the residents and users of that lot can't get out on time because they're stopping by the stop sign and backing up, and cars can't get out when they're paying for the permit parking. These are just people that are just picking up mom and dad and just don't have a permit to be in the lot. We want to make no stopping or standing in our public lot, which we can do near, I call it the building department house down there. So it'd be just that area. We're not saying you can't go into our lot. We just move you down by like the gate, by the compost. Yeah.
So you mean towards the back end?
Yeah.
It will be picked up, not obstructing the exit, which is what happens every day.
Correct. So we're looking to fix that.
My wish is we could make no left turns.
So then you'll be pushing up the traffic to Park and Lincoln and Center.
It's a
And
lot of new people.
yeah. So
Any objection? Hearing none.
thank you. And then we spoke about optimizing the parking lots. We did brief counts this year. The numbers haven't changed. The permit numbers are relatively the same. So if you, not to bore everyone, the counts have enough permits sold. There's just not a lot of residents or users of the lot go to New York City every day or go to work. So we have numerous spots opened up. So as stated at the last meeting, we want to, if you want to generate more revenue, you can use Park Mobile app and the parking spots down by the gate, down by the compost field that no one uses every day. You can meter them through Park Mobile and get $10 a day, $5 a day, as the proposal was last time. We had a contract sent, they sent it to Borough Attorney, but we did put it on hold, from my understanding, again, to kind of bundle this all if we wanted to move forward.
How many spots do you think you then have Park Mobile there?
So my initial idea is to do 20, but you can override it if you're a permit.
I know you're gonna look at the amount of
Yeah.
residents that have tickets.
Correct.
but-
So
But how that, it says the lot has to be otherwise full?
If you have a permit, the way I would structure the ordinance is the lot's never full. We sell enough permits, we actually sell over the amount, we have 10% overage on permits, but the lot is always 25 to 30 spots open every day, every single day. Friday and Monday, there's more. If you go through, there's a memo in there, if you want to have the breakdowns, it's still statistically the same. We did a count the other day. The idea is like the last 15 to 20 spots by that gate, put up a metered spot. So if you just need to go to the city for the day and you want to spend $5, you go on their Park Mobile app, like if anyone that goes down to the shore or the cities, pay your $5, you're good, we get alerted, generates revenue for the town. However, if there's a Knicks game or the World Cup that everyone sees on the news, everything's happening, and everyone wants to use their permit that day, if you get to that metered spot, you don't have to pay the $5, you just occupy it.
It overrides.
You
have your
override.
permit on the car.
Yeah, so. If you remember 3 or 4 years ago, correct me if I'm wrong, Mayor, we did not allow non-residents to use our municipal lot.
No, we didn't.
And then
Changed it.
3 or 4 years ago, we opened it because all these parking spots are open.
We actually had someone from New Milford who specifically asked for that. They had a relative in River Edge, and they said, could it be considered? And it made sense.
Yeah. So, again, that take legwork if we're still willing to do that. I have the contract. I did speak to the representative last week. The terms and conditions are the same. That's also in this packet. So
I mean, I like the revenue generating and that is good news. I'm just,
Lisa?
procedurally, how would that, if it times out, like people I know go to Broadway, whatever, and if it is 5 hours, like my Park Mobile, I have the app and I can actually increase it on my own.
So my recommendation would be, we don't have the manpower to do it like 5 hours, 4 hours. It'd be, you're good for the 12-hour day.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna tell you what to do, but I would, if I was in your shoes, I would actually, on Saturdays and Sundays and overnight, even do the Park Mobile, but have the resident sticker override it to generate more money. So on Saturday and Sunday, when there's no one in the lot, or there's the 10 people or 15 people that come from Oradell, New Milford, I'm just naming towns from the north to come use it, you're just gonna generate a couple $100 every weekend moving forward. But if someone pays taxes and has a resident sticker, your taxes pay for that. You don't require a permit for those or the Park Mobile.
I was asking about the
Yeah.
timing. If
Yeah.
it's 12 hours, makes
So,
sense
yeah.
because you have, no manpower.
So would that be something you'd put into the ordinance?
Yes,
And do you need to know a consensus from the council whether they're comfortable with that?
Yes, and
Is
then
the council comfortable with that?
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you. And then the rest is 9 to 11. And I believe that, and then, yes, River Edge Road has come to our attention that our ordinance allows parking on River Edge Road right now. No one does it, but it is permitted use, and there is a sign in front of one. So we're just trying to, if you amend the chapter 427, I'm just gonna hold it up, that's in this memo, to just codify and not allow parking on River Edge Road. And then look at the upper lot to see if we can maybe make some more spaces for 2-hour parking, and then re-sign that for the businesses up on River
One of
Edge.
the problems that we're getting the calls on, are the cars are parked on the sidewalk on River Edge Road.
Yeah, in fact, there's
Noticed
striping,
that?
I believe.
Right, that just happened one year. And
Oh.
we did it, we looked backwards on it, it's been for many years.
Mm-hmm.
Sarge looked at the county, because they're involved down there, and there wasn't really an approval or anything we found, it just occurred. But I've had several residents call, they're trying to walk through with a baby stroller, something, and the cars just come up on the sidewalk because they're getting off the street. So first we thought, well, we could tell them to get off the sidewalk, I could do that tomorrow, right? But if I tell them to get off the sidewalk and they go onto the street, it's tight,
Very
especially
tight.
on the Y. So now we're gonna have accidents, right? So our goal is to prohibit the parking, so then we can tell them to get off the sidewalks, but they can't park in the street. Because the upper lot has more parking, as we've said several times, the parking has decreased over the years, basically since COVID. There will be the ability to work with that lot, with the business owners, to either, if they have to get a permit, or depends on how we want to work with them to allow them to park. As Sergeant said, they do have the ability to go down to Grove Street, so there are some options there, but it would make it a lot safer down there to walk on the sidewalks.
So is this an ordinance that you're looking to move during the summer, or is this an ordinance you're looking for us to say, work on?
I think it can be, we can put it together as long as there's a consensus that it sounds reasonable to you and that you want to do it, then there's no reason why you couldn't put it together for the same
Okay.
meeting.
These are all great ideas. Thank you.
I think these are great ideas, and I want to compliment Sergeant Diamond and the Chief. Traffic and Safety Committee does a lot of that work. Sergeant
Sergeant
Diamond
Diamond is the
leads that work.
operations behind it all.
And so they are really a working group that brings good changes, good progressive changes to the town. So without objection, we're going to, why don't you create that ordinance also? But that one you probably want to run by so the council can send that to the council early so that if the council has comments for that one, they might be able to. And of course, the council, I think I'm speaking for the council, is we know you will, but just make sure that the businesses have some option, because without parking, they're not businesses. But I know you will, but I'm just saying it because the business will be watching and they'll be like, oh my God, I'm gonna be out of business because where would they park? So-
It's not necessary, it's the business owners really that park there.
Really?
Interestingly enough, yeah.
Oh.
The majority of them are business owners, they just park right in.
Oh.
So, but we're well aware that we need to count for them
Yeah.
and their customers.
Good, that'd be great.
And obviously, I think all that I stated when you were in here, like we would like as we always have the borough administrator involved in anything, but like a little working group, because we do have a lot of ordinances that we threw out there tonight, and it's
And
gonna
you're
take.
gonna include the borough attorney,
Of course,
right?
yeah.
Of course, yeah.
And then that, and then lastly.
Just like that.
Just. Lastly, there are sample ordinances in there, that's not 100% exactly what we, I literally just said, oh, I like Woodridge's section here through that, and I like word up, just so like
Can I
the
put on my
council has
teacher
an
hat for a
idea.
minute? I highly recommend that you come up, you not do the sample ordinances, you come up with the ordinance that you want, and then bring it to the committee.
I'm just talking in these packets right now.
Oh, in the packets.
Yeah,
If you
read the
packet, I don't want you, like tonight being like, oh my God, you
Okay,
wanted
yeah.
this? It's just a framework and idea.
Yeah, because the working group will go
No.
much faster if they're
No,
working
when we
for
have
what
the
you
working
want.
group, it's gonna be everything the police department wants, everything that we hear from the public and the council members. But I just didn't want to, and so there's, just for transparency reasons.
Bounce it off, big guy.
Yeah, and for transparency reasons, as traffic and safety said, there is currently traffic studies being conducted at some crossing guard posts.
Yeah.
Whether they're going to be eliminated, but that's the reason for the summer meeting. We might be moving it might be a proposal to move some crossing guards around, so.
From their current post to
To a
other
different
street?
post or
Okay.
eliminate it based on needs. But that, I don't want to speak ahead of the study because the study's been ongoing.
Well,
For transparency
come
reasons.
back to us.
In the summer, we'll just need to know answers on that. So that will be all provided to you. Because there will have to be ordinance amended, as the attorney knows. Each school crossing is in an ordinance and has to be eliminated by passage of
And you have to know if before school starts anyway, right?
Correct. So that's the
yeah,
reason
okay.
why I'm saying We're going to call it the Great Summer Meeting of 2026. Bring
Got
your-
it, got
yes.
it, got it.
And I want to commend you guys for everything you do. The police department is great. Your community policing model is outstanding. As bespoke by our residents who constantly are sending letters of, gratitude and thanks to our police department, especially managing this construction issue right now, doing a great job. I just wanted to say that, throw that out while you're here. Traffic safety is hard with,
PSE&G is not.
what?
They are, PSE&G is not.
Well, yes, but our police officers keep us safe with, with what's happening. So we thank you so very much.
Thank you for your support.
Mayor, excuse me, I think just a procedural thing. I'm not sure when you were out, so when you were here, you got us all to weigh in on each proposed item, but I think when you were out, we didn't.
Okay, in the items, is there any objection to any of the items that were raised during my recusal? Hearing none, so moved.
I'll stick around over here for public comment. If not, I'll see everyone. Have a great weekend.
There, Sergeant, there's no more public comment.
Oh, there's no more public
Yeah,
comment?
we did one, and it's open for everything.
Then I will see everyone later. I'll come back. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry, chief.
No worries.
All right. Could I have a motion and second, once I read into the record, appointments and personnel change, approve the salary increase of Edward Hazuka, laborer in the Department of Public Works, for a probationary rate of $47,760 to step 4, $59,433, effective July 27, 2026. Approve the salary increase of Eric Phillips, foreman in the Department of Public Works, for the rate of $103,205.80 to step 3, $113,443.56, effective June 1st, 2026. Approve the revised list of camp staff on file with the borough's clerk office.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. It is open for debate. Is there debate? Hearing none. All in favor? I'm sorry, Madam Clerk. Since there are appointments.
Okay, Council.
Yep.
Council President Kinsella?
Yes.
Councilwoman Montesano Cohen?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mallory?
Yes.
Councilman Glass?
Yes.
Councilman Pfeffer?
Yes.
Okay, in a moment, could I have a, oh, that's right, I forgot about that. Okay, actually, I jumped ahead, but I'm gonna stay ahead without objection and come back, okay? I need to, make sure that the critical business is done. So, and then I'm gonna come back to, I skipped over the,
7?
7, but we'll come back to it. Could I have a motion and second in a moment for resolutions 26, 156, 157, and then 159 through 170 to approve? Could I have a motion second to move those motions?
So moved.
Second.
It is open for debate, comment, or inquiry. Is there debate, comment, or inquiry? Any of the resolutions? Hearing none, could I have one member of the Budget Committee read into the record 26-170, which is one of the many resolutions we're doing simply for the sake of transparency?
Thank you, Mayor. At a regular meeting of the Mayor and Council of the Borough of River Edge, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, held on May 28, 2026, be it resolved that the Mayor and Council of the Borough of River Edge approve the following expenditures. Current Fund, $1,805,462.74. General Capital Fund, $130,853.13. Trust Other, $3,137.12. Recreation Trust, $17,188.05.
Okay, now it has been read into the record, but we're moving all of the resolutions. Madam Clerk. Oh, wait, it has been moved and seconded, right?
Yes.
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Council President Kinsella?
Yes.
Councilwoman Montesano Cohen?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mallory?
Yes.
Councilman Glass?
Yes.
Councilman Pfeffer?
Yes.
Very good. Okay, now we need to return to request for temporary extension of hours during World Cup for retail consumer licenses. So one of our businesses reached out to me as mayor, saying that the governor had taken some sort of action. I guess it's a proclamation? What was it?
It was.
Can you speak to it?
Yes. The governor issued a proclamation, and the Division of Alcoholic Beverage Control created a model ordinance to amend the sale of alcoholic beverages only for consumption licenses. So these are bars and restaurants, not liquor stores. Those are distribution licenses. During the World Cup from June 11th through July 19th to allow alcoholic beverages to extend the operating hours until 4 a.m. So the request received from one of the businesses was to see if the borough would like to enact an ordinance based on this special event.
What time do they close now?
Right now, they close, I printed it out.
11,
Yeah, so they close at 3 a.m. So no alcohol can be served between 3 a.m. and noon on Sundays or Mondays through Saturdays between the hours of 2 a.m. and 7 a.m.
So we're standing for 1 hour.
No, they're looking for 4 a.m. So on Sundays, it would be 1 hour. Monday through Saturday, it would be 2 hours. The only exception we have in the ordinance is for New Year's Eve that allows establishments to stay open until 4 a.m.
So we don't have to grant this, we don't have to grant it as requested, or we can grant it as requested.
It's not to stay open, it's to continue serving alcohol, right?
Well, I think it's both.
Yeah, you have to be open to sell and serve.
I'm saying they can stay open later, they just can't serve alcohol past 2. But anyway, okay, splitting hairs, doesn't matter.
How does the council feel about this? Is the council interested in considering this?
Is the request only for alcohol, or are they going to continue full kitchen staff?
This approval is only for alcohol, and the request we received was only for serving alcohol.
Who was the request from?
Feathers.
Feathers.
Okay, and then we have the diner, and what's the other establishment?
Pan Sanducci.
River Edge Diner and
Prime 259.
No, Santucci's
Prime
doesn't have.
259.
Prime
BYOB.
259.
Is
Prime
that
259, and
They had 3.
yeah,
There's 3.
there's 3.
Prime 259.
But if we grant it for one, we have to grant it for all.
Okay.
We can't spot zone.
I don't know why
When you
people
get
need to
on
drink like an extra hour.
I think what they're doing is trying to make money.
From the sales tax.
So I don't know that everyone's going to be drinking. I have lots of my friends who
So we got a
go to Sports
request
Bar and
from
drink
Feathers
non-alcoholic
to
beer.
extend.
What?
We got a request from Feathers to extend.
We have only 3, and they were the only one who'd made the request.
Well, I'm fine with it. Do I have to make a motion?
Well, yeah, if you want to.
I make a motion to
Well,
extend.
It has to be done by ordinance.
Oh, okay.
So.
But I would want a motion and second to direct the,
Well, no, because of, I'm sorry, I'm
Yeah,
gonna say
go
no.
ahead.
I'm used to saying no all the time.
You have kids too?
Throwing my husband for. And he's asleep, he's not watching. So this has to be done by ordinance, which requires 2 readings. And it's for a limited time. So it's from June 11th through whatever, July 19th, 20th. So it would have to be introduced tonight with the second reading on the 11th. And then it would be
To actually go.
effective date of publication, but since we publish online, it would be effective the 12th.
Which is the start of the World Cup anyway, right?
so can we introduce?
Yes,
the
because the
ordinance?
first game
first
starts
game
the
is 12.
13th.
Oh, the third, well.
Yeah, we
first-
have the model.
But
We
the first
just-
game is
we
the
just need to
first
fill
11,
in
but
the
it's not
blanks.
Yeah, the first
Oh,
game
okay.
in MetLife is the 13th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you still wish to make a motion to do that? Because as soon as you make a motion and second, it's still open for debate. Do you wish to make that motion?
I'll still make the motion, yes.
Okay, to 4 a.m.
To 4 a.m., yeah.
Okay.
Second.
Is there a second?
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. It is open for debate. All those for, against, comment, or inquiry. Is there debate? Hearing none. All in favor of moving the ordinance to right now? Just, well, because this is by consensus. Say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstain? Okay, we gotta move the ordinance. Do we have it?
Yes, we have the model ordinance amending the sale and service of alcoholic beverages. We just need to
May I have a copy of it?
fill in the blanks.
So would you fill in the blanks before I do that? Most of the
just-
blanks are pretty easy, I can do.
No, the hours.
Do I have to read it out loud?
No, just the title. A model ordinance amending the hours and sale of alcoholic beverages for the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Okay, could I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Do we need a number for that? You'll assign the number later?
Yeah, we'll assign the number. The last ordinance, I don't remember what the number was. It was like 26.
179, I think. Oh, it's 171.
No, it's not a resolution, it's
Oh,
ordinance.
ordinance, 169.
Do we have one here?
No, we don't have an ordinance now. All right, but
we don't have
with the
one.
understanding that it would be properly listed, we had a motion and second, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, it is open for debate. Is there debate? Is there inquiry? Is there comment? Madam Clerk, the ordinance is on the floor.
Council President Kinsella.
Yes.
Councilwoman Montesano Cohen.
Yes.
Councilwoman Mallally.
Yes.
Councilman Glass.
I'm going to abstain. I just don't know what I think. I haven't had enough time to read the ordinance and consider this carefully, so I abstain.
Councilman Pfeffer.
Yes.
Okay, there will be a second reading, and there will be a public comment period during the second reading, and that will happen at the next council meeting. So, we're done with that. Good. Okay, so now we're up to car show banner request. This happens every year. If we, Ann, I think you asked for size and picture and it still hasn't come in. I'm of two minds. One mind, we grant it every year. My other mind is we shouldn't be granting it unless we have some sort of image that we know. So, but it's up to the council whether they want to grant the car show. Do we have details of how it was simply requested?
The Cultural Center requested it to the DPW, saying, please put up the banner. And our DPW superintendent said it has to be formally approved, so Jason forwarded it to me, and I forwarded it to Ann to put on the agenda.
Does the DPW currently have the banner? Is it last year's banner?
I don't.
Because if that's the case, then council can,
Where is it going to be displayed again?
here it was last year, same place? I think it's the,
Continental.
Is it the one on top of the?
Main
No, Main Street.
Main Street and Kinder.
On Main Street, okay.
Main Street. If it's the exact same one, then I change my recommendation, council, and say just approve it, but if it's not.
Can we do it with a
On the basis
condition
that
that
it's
it's
going
the
to be,
same?
yeah.
Yes, if it's not, then they have to come back to the
Yeah.
council, you
Yeah.
can do that. But I
Yeah,
have a,
that's
mo-
the la-
do you want to do that? Do you want to make that motion?
Yeah, someone,
Anyone for a second?
Second.
Still open for debate. Is there debate, inquiry, comment? This is not, can be done by acclamation. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, any abstentions? Hearing none? Okay, now we are up to old business, religious display on public property policy. Mr. Pfeffer, you asked for this, Councilman Pfeffer, so I'm going to give you the floor.
I did. Thank you very much, and thank you for the council to have voted to put this on the agenda. It is late, and we did have a discussion previously tonight, so I'm not going to belabor any points. My main comment, my main comment is that the people who have spoken tonight, I think, spoke very eloquently, very movingly, very sincerely, and from the heart. I think it's just an issue of fairness. Since we've already established, I think, and we already agree, I think, that this is a matter of policy. There's no legal prohibition to do it, or prohibition against doing it. It's simply a matter of whether the council wants to do it and whether we think it's good policy to do it. There's been a request from the community. My personal opinion is it's only fair to say yes to their request. If there's no law against the public display of crescents on government property, and if federal courts have upheld such displays elsewhere, And if our neighbors in other towns, 49 other towns, are already doing it, I don't see why River Edge can't do it. And I don't see why River Edge shouldn't do it. We're not talking about taking away any other symbols. We're not talking about taking away anyone's rights. This doesn't hurt anybody. We're just trying to include. We're not trying to exclude. I know personally, I've lived in River Edge for 17 years. I don't see our town as being less tolerant than Englewood and Teaneck and Bergenfield and Paramus. I don't see this town as being less welcoming. We just, as I think you mentioned, Mayor, we just had a great cultural diversity celebration earlier this year. I attended, the mayor was there. So why not? Why not do this? It's a simple request. And especially, I would say, in these particular times, what we're all going through and seeing in society these days in this country, River Edge can be a model of how to respond to the fear and the racism and the hate that's going on throughout the country and throughout our society. I think we can be a town that becomes known for building bridges instead of walls. That's my hope. And so I intend to vote yes on the request that River Edge allow crescent displays on public property, on borough property, along with the tree, the menorah, and that such displays be allowed consistent with what the law allows and in accordance with legal conditions and interpretations. I think that's what the other towns are doing, and I don't see why we can't do it too. Thank you.
Any other member would like to offer a comment? All right, so Mr. Shadadian, the issue is borough policy, and if we approve this, then we're basically, here, you should have turned them. Oh, yeah. Is it that this is an all or nothing thing? If we do this, then we're basically saying any religious display and or any display that any group should wish to make. I mean, what would be the criteria that would govern this, and what would be any obligation or legal concern?
So in probably the most recent, I think, significant case on this, which is involved a Christian flag in Boston, basically, if you open this, my opinion is that if you open this, if you change the policy to permit the display of religious or other secular symbols, you have to allow them all. It's because we're going from the traditional issue was always an establishment clause issue under the Constitution, whether or not this was you were favoring one religion over another. Now it's morphed a little bit into free exercise conversation, a lot into free exercise. So that's really what this would become. And again, I think that's why a lot of municipalities have opted to allow sort of like an more open forum, because it does allow everybody to say their piece, so to speak. That's my colloquial way of saying it. But it also immunizes you from most potential litigation that some group may bring because they want to have their say or on their particular day.
Okay, so that's the question before the council.
Correct.
Okay, now I also noticed in the survey that Councilman had asked for that there are towns that have if the council should consider this, they could consider it just to be an open event where somebody makes a request, that's it. Or I know the town of Bergenfield has created a resolution where they put a permit fee, they put insurance of permit, they put conditions of the issuance, duration. So would you opine on whether, if the council wishes to consider this, should they also consider something like Bergenfield has done, or maybe some other municipality?
I mean, I always think it's good to not reinvent the wheel. I mean, if other towns have done it and done it successfully, it's a good thing to look at them as a potential model. I mean, I also represent Bergenfield. I don't know if the council's aware of that, the Labor Council there. I do think that the permit concept is a good one because it does insulate the borough to some extent. The time limitation also makes it so it's not, again, like for example, if someone wanted to leave a holiday tree, because I'm not going to call it a Christmas tree now, but if someone wants to leave a holiday tree up for all year, that might anger some people. If someone left a menorah up all year, that might anger others, not because of the actual thing is angering, because it's like it's sitting there and when it's not the season, right? So I understand why there's a time limitation. Ramadan, which the Crescent celebrates, has a specific time limitation. So it would be only up during the celebration of Ramadan. So, I mean, I think the same thing for the holidays. Usually it's like the month of December, right? Like post-Thanksgiving, right? That's when the holiday stuff goes up that we've been discussing. I think that's what Bergenfield, if I remember correctly, that's how Bergenfield does it. They don't, it's not perpetual.
I have it, it was sent to us. They say, the conditions is a permit for an outdoors holiday display should be given if the applicant satisfies all the following criteria. But this is actually, we're not there yet.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of details.
There's a lot of details. So right now, we're just talking in concept. So the council has before it, I think, 4 options. Let me see. One is to take no action, just stick with the current policy. Second is to simply change the policy and say we're going to open it to everybody. The third would be to say we need more time to think about it. Or the fourth would be we're inclined to do it, but we need more time to create a policy that would be permitted and have limitations and durations and application information. So
There could be a fifth.
there could be a fifth. Tell me.
I think, unless I missed it when you were saying it, but I think the fifth would be, we will do it, but we will work with Borough Council and consult with other, or not consult, but look to other towns to formulate a
that's really
formal
the fourth
policy.
one, yeah.
Because I think you said inclined to do it. I think we would need something, if we were going to do it, we should be more definitive about it.
Well, we can say that, but in truth, until we create an ordinance, we're not doing it, right? So I get what you're saying.
I'm just saying
It's better semantics, you say.
if we decide that we want to do this, then
Yeah.
it's just a matter of crafting an ordinance. And that would be talking to the borough attorney and looking to ordinances like Bergenfield's, et cetera.
Okay.
But I
The good
think
news is I think the next religious holidays would be in September, right?
that's beyond my pay grade.
It would be the Jewish religious holidays in September. I don't think there's anything before then.
No, yeah. But that doesn't, no.
Off the top of my head,
We're opening up.
but I could be
We could
wrong.
we could have people, I would assume, once we change this policy, we could have people say, well, I want you to put up our flag. We're giving you our flag.
But the policy can remain in effect until an ordinance is.
Flags also could be a different, I really don't want to throw another bomb into this, but like in Teaneck, when I was the Teaneck attorney, they created their own policy on flags, because flags can be considered an expression of the governing body, and you can create a flag policy if you want, so that you can say yes or no to flags. That's a whole different thing. There's a whole body of case law on flags too.
Yeah, the only reason I brought it up is because it is a public display issue, and residents have approached me about, we have 3 flag posts for Borough Hall. Are we putting up new flags? And I said, no, we're not doing that. We're just putting up the state of New Jersey, American flag, state flag, and we do allow for MIA, but that's been a long practice because, we can put up the River Edge flag. So they were asking, you now have 3 flag posts, are you putting them up? And I said, no, that's not our current policy. So, and that is a display, it's a public display.
I would probably want to review whatever the current language is in accordance with it, if we're going to change this other policy, to make sure that it's all consistent.
Yeah. And just for information purposes, I mean, I printed out the response that we got from TNEC. And TNEC's response was, we don't have a formal policy. We work closely with the respective community on these observances to assure proper respect is paid. It has been known to us through concentrated community expression that folks want to see X, Y, and Z. We have a Christmas tree, Hanukkah menorah, Kwanzaa menorah, and a Ramadan crescent. Not having a formal policy has yet to blow back at us. So we can, at this point, we can agree to just, quote, work closely with the respective community on these observances to assure proper respect is paid. And then along the way, if we wanted to have a specific ordinance with guidelines and permit requirements, maybe we can form a subcommittee to do that, or we could just get guidance from our borough attorney on what that should say.
So right now, it's just you and I going back and forth. I don't know how the rest of the council feels about any of this yet. No. But it's almost 10 o'clock. I need, we have to close. So is the council interested in extending the council meeting for 15, 30, or 45 minutes, or not at all? I need, if not, the meeting will be ending in 1 minute.
Move to extend for 15 minutes.
Is there a second?
Second.
It has been moved and seconded. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Okay, appears to be unanimous. I'm good with any of the 5 things that you said, but I am not good with the 6th thing you just said. I don't think, in my role as mayor, everyone's role as mayor should be to protect the town from litigation or exposure. I have taken that very seriously, and I have gotten a lot of guff over it over the years. But one of the things is, we went from multiple lawsuits when I first came on the council to no lawsuits right now. And I am not comfortable with TNEC's willy-nilly.
So what would you be comfortable with?
If the council wants to do any one of the other 5 things that we mentioned, that's fine with me. Take no action, simply approve it without creating ordinance, create a group for an ordinance, you had said create some sort of positive language for an ordinance. You know, any of those things is fine. It's up to the council. You would need a motion and a second, and then if you don't get a second or it doesn't get approved, doesn't mean we can't consider one of the other options. Unless the council is not interested in doing anything, just sticking with a policy that so far has worked for us, but maybe needs to be changed. It's up to the council. I've spoken a lot, and now I'm going to stop. You have the guidance.
Thank
It's
you.
the 5 of you need to decide.
No, I appreciate the openness and directness, man. Thank you.
Mayor, I do want to say something.
Sure.
Comment. I was part of the council that enacted the policy
Yeah.
that we currently have. And I respect everybody's point of view and everybody who came in to say what they needed to say. Respect. However, I believe in separation of church and state. And to insinuate that we do not, the previous council did not respect that and did not hold events for other religions is very alarming to me. Because we did. Like, the mayor had pictures of when the individuals came to request Ramadan, we had a ceremony for Ramadan.
Sorry.
No, I'm just saying, and just in general. And, but I don't think that you have, I'm not gonna say more. That's all I'll say on that matter, and I respect the decision that the council made previously, and I'm gonna hold to that decision.
What is our policy?
There
No,
are no
it's-
religious symbols. If
So,
you were gonna
let me
do
ask you
that,
this.
wait, I just wanna say, like, in the Hindu religion, we have many, many symbols. So someone can come in here in the Hindu religion and be like, we need all of these symbols at Borough Hall. So, because it's either, in my point of view, it's either all or nothing.
So no one has told me with certainty that the crescent is any more of a religious symbol than a Christmas tree or a menorah. I have not heard that with certainty. Thank you. So I
Please don't do
can't
that.
fathom.
You're given your
I
time.
can't
This is the
fathom-
council's time.
I can't fathom how we cannot allow it. I just can't fathom it. I don't get it. No one has said with certainty that it's more of a religious symbol than a Christmas tree or a menorah. I asked you and you said it's fuzzy.
No, I said I can't answer it. I'm not an expert.
Okay, so no one can tell me. So I can't fathom how we cannot allow it.
You don't have to comment, but if you want to.
No, I was also part of the council that made this policy decision, and I think there is a clear distinction between fairness. And fairness have been thrown out many times, and I think there's a very distinction about display and recognition. And I think we've established the fact that we have recognized the Muslim community as a whole and embraced them, and we have allowed for their activities to take place in the library, the park, like the Hindu, also the Diwali event. I feel very strongly with the separation of church and state. I don't necessarily need to make a decision based on what other towns do, because I think we have recognized the existence and the religious liberty in River Edge. So I want to be very clear that there is a distinction between display and recognition. I think it a very slippery slope for opening the question to what happens next. And it's all or nothing. And I don't like these kind of decisions, all or nothing. And for those reasons, and until we maybe get some more clarity in the future, I'm staying with my decision the way we actually address this based on the Supreme Court case. The policy is quite clear based on those facts. And until we can get any other guidance, I am not comfortable making a different decision at this time.
You don't have to, but if you want to.
No, I just-
You didn't turn on your mic.
I agree with Councilwoman, President Kinsella and Lisa. I was part of that council when we decided the policy, and I'm a strong believer too of separation of religion and government. So we acknowledge the religions. Everyone that's requested, the park is part of the borough. The library is property of the borough. We allow the events to take place and display. But at the borough hall, because it represents the body of the government, I don't see that like the right place to display it. But we do acknowledge all the religions. And I'm not a Christian, I'm a different religion, and I respect all of them, so but I'll stand to the policy that I decided a few years ago. We do not allow any culture or religion display at the borough hall. All other properties, we display, we celebrate it, we participate, and that's all.
Okay. So the council has weighed in. You still have the right to make a motion, and if there is a second, the council will then have to vote, or we can move forward and to council comments. So Councilman Pfeffer, you called for this, so I'm going to turn to you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I will make a motion because I think it's the right thing to do. My motion would be that we support the request to have a crescent display for the Ramadan season or the Ramadan holiday on borough property, consistent with what the borough does with the holiday tree and the menorah. I do feel it's a Christmas tree, but I'm not wedded to that. If we want to call it a holiday tree, that's fine. Consistent with what we do with the tree and the menorah, we should have the same policy towards the crescent during the Ramadan season. I don't see a way to distinguish one policy from the other. And that would be my motion, that we support a policy that allows the display of the crescent on borough property consistent with the way the tree and the menorah are displayed on borough property.
So it's, no. It's his motion. You can either vote it up or down, or not. If it's not seconded, it won't go anywhere. Are you, but what I do want to ask for clarification, are you looking for it to be a resolution or is it just, you're just looking for just to approve that without any sort of idea of a formal policy through resolution?
I'm not really sure what that means.
So remember the choice is do
Yeah.
nothing, simply approve it, okay? Look towards creating, discuss it more, that was the third one. Look towards or move to approve it within an encapsulating policy.
I think if we support this motion, if we approve this motion,
Well, I'm asking you, do you want that included? Is it your intent, that's all I want clarity is, that there should be an encapsulating policy by resolution?
an encapsulated
I think
policy.
you want door number 2. I think
Guidelines.
Door number 2. He just.
Yeah, of course there should be guidelines. I mean, that's what I mean, consistent with. Whatever guidelines we use for the tree and the menorah, we should apply the exact same guidelines for the
Right.
crescent.
There's no.
That's all I'm saying.
Mayor,
If there are no guidelines, then,
Good. You
then
made a
we,
motion.
then we should create guidelines. But as long as the display is approved, along with the Christmas tree and the menorah, and that there's no distinction between one display and the other in terms of how they're displayed, that's the motion. If we approve that, and then the borough or the council says, well, we really need to put a little more meat on the bones, let's look into how other towns do it, of course I would support that.
Okay.
But
It's going to get voted down anyway, but.
well, I'm making my motion.
It's still important procedure matters.
Sure. And I think also procedurally, Council President Kinsella is able to amend the motion if she wishes to.
Anyone's allowed to amend
Yeah.
the motion if there's a second.
Okay,
Is there a second?
yes.
It has been moved and seconded. We are open for debate.
I just wanted to clarify your motion. You said Borough Hall, Borough property. It should be specifically Borough Hall because we do have it in other parts of the borough. We just do not have it at Borough Hall.
Whatever,
Well, he
whatever
doesn't
is
have to-
done.
He does, so do you
No,
consider that
I-
a friendly amendment?
So where is the tree and the menorah displayed?
It's in Borough Hall, but when Borough Hall was being renovated, we had the tree
Right.
lighting in Memorial Park. So
Right.
that's my,
The point is
are
to
you
make it
saying-
all equal.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. So if
We
you're,
have it right now.
if
That's
you're,
what
or if you're,
We have it in other places.
I'm sorry, if your amendment is to say that it would be at Borough Hall, on Borough Hall property, I'm fine with that.
So it's a friendly amendment.
Yes, I accept that as a friendly
So
amendment.
without
Because I think that
objection,
was the
the motion is amended. Okay. Is there debate? I'm going to actually call for a roll call.
Council President Kinsella?
No.
Councilwoman Montesano Cohen?
No.
Councilwoman Mallory?
No.
Councilman Glass?
Yes, I was right about the vote.
Councilman Pfeffer?
Well,
Yes.
you can count, Dave, that's awesome.
Amazing prediction, right?
Wait, hold on.
But why- I said yes.
You got to vote, okay.
But
All
why
right,
why make
so-
a friendly amendment if you're not going to vote for it?
I just want to have that distinction on the record, that's
Oh,
all.
okay,
That was
Okay.
all.
got it.
Council comments. And we have to go into closed session, so you might want to keep council comments long because we got another half hour to hour to go. And we have 4 minutes left to extend the meeting. So are there any council comments? Hearing none. Could I have a motion and second to move Resolution 26-171, resolution to go into closed session, exclude the public personnel, NJSA 10:4-12B8, Police Department, parole officer staffing?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Could I have a motion and second to adjourn the meeting? We will not be returning to public. We will go into closed. Second?
Second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The meeting is adjourned.